go on that one actually when games are a big part of my social life. He's giving me more chance to meet.
Hi guys! I'm going to guess that I'm live. How's it all go? How you all doing? Hey! Hey, everything worked. Right, so, welcome to Ocarina of Time as you're not expecting to see it. This is a randomizer. So, basically, everything's shuffled. Yes, well, I say everything, songs aren't. Songs are shuffled amongst themselves, items are shuffled amongst themselves. I thought, you know what, it's kind of a... Oh, Kyle. Shit happens. Okay, so, what we're going to be doing today, you'll notice on the side there is a bingo board. If I, for example, click this quickly, you'll see it turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. I'm going to try and fill as much of that as I can in the time I've been given, which is roughly 4 hours. You'll notice I have a timer. When that hits, I'm going to say 3.5 hours just to be safe. And then I can add more as I need it, if I have time left. So, without further ado, let's get us started. First things first, I'm going to talk us through the board. So, each square on the board corresponds to either an item or a condition. For example, we have 6 maps in the corner here. That means I have to find 6 maps. The dungeon maps have been shuffled within their dungeon. They can be anywhere in the dungeon. We also have Beat the Deku Tree, which is Beat that dungeon. I just realised I am actually... I can minimise that now. Cool. So essentially, I'm trying to clear as much of this board as I can in the time. So without further ado, I will start the timer and get moving in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So you notice immediately that Link is purple today. That is because, as well as randomising the items, I can also randomise the colours of the tunics, of the fairy, a few other things you'll notice along the way. That's a wall. So to illustrate the randomisation, what we have in here is a blue rupee. That's actually normal. Not helping my case here, game. Second one, that's a bow. Those of you know Ocarina of Time, this sounds very different. This is not the sound you normally get when you find an item. But finding the bow this early is actually really nice. More money, because money's always nice. And a stick upgrade, so we can now hold 20 sticks. That actually saves me a lot of time. So for those of you wondering just how screwed up this is, because this is a randomizer after all, and they can do a lot, this is actually pretty basic for a randomizer. You have stuff like all those golden sculptures in the dungeons are shuffled, so there's like gold spiders hidden on walls, in pots, in boxes, that kind of thing. Around the world, there's 100 of them. I just have to apologise for sound issues, I thought I'd fixed those. Where was I? Oh yeah, gold sculptures. The ones within dungeons are shuffled. For example, there we go, there's a gold sculpture token. There are 100 of those throughout the world. Thankfully, there are no goals today for clearing them. The goals on the board, from top to bottom of rows, left to right, we'll read through each row one at a time. You've got obtain 4 different keys in Forest Temple, Fire Temple boss key. Obtain all 5 small keys in Shadow Temple. All 4 Lon Ranch area skulls, 6 maps. Row 2 is 10 songs. Din's Fire. Oh yeah, close that, never mind. Obtain 8 different keys in the Ocarina training grounds. Obtain 1 small key in each adult dungeon. That is Forest, Fire, Water, Shadow and Spirit Temple. As well as Ocarina training grounds and Ganon's Castle. We'll be able to get that one for until a lot later. Defeat the Boo Knuckle. That is the mini-boss of the Spirit Temple. The third row is bomb bag 30 or better, so I have to be able to hold 30 bombs or more. 3 boots. That's the ones I'm wearing now. Iron boots and hover boots. All 4 Wasteland and Colossus area Skulltulers. That's simple, let's just killing spiders. Plant the bean in Death Mountain Crater. That requires a song, which is 10 songs. Defeat Morpher, who's the boss of Water Temple. Before I go to row 4, the reason I'm walking backwards here is because it's actually faster. Like, for example, this is walking normally, and this is back walking. Quite a difference, really. Anyway, row 4 is Ice Arrows, which you normally get from the middle of Gruder Training Grounds, but this is a randomizer, so it can be anywhere. Beat the Deku Tree, which is beat in the first dungeon, which is going to require me to find a sword and a shield before I can get in. All 3 Skulltulers in the Ice Cavern, which are the spiders. Double Defense, which doubles my health. 4 Compasses, which are like the maps. Hey, I'm rich! And row 5 is Silver Gauntlets or better, which is 2 strength upgrades. Beats 2 temples, which are the 5 I mentioned earlier. Find Ruto's letter, which I just realised I can't do because I believe I've opened the fountain. I'll get to that in a moment. Opponent's song and holding 30 nuts or better. Now, these things right here are called Sheikah Stones. They give you hints. For example, in this case, to beat the seed, Death Mountain Crater is required. Normally. Since we're doing bingo, the way the hero isn't quite required. But if I want to beat Ganon at any point, I need everything in a way in the hero location. You also have foolish choice hints, which means that nothing there is required to beat the seed. In fact, it's all junk. And there's a bunch of other hints that I'll go over when I get them. No, Richard, okay, so this is made using something called the Accessible Weekly settings, which is the settings used in the weekly races. But the Ocarina of Time randomizer community run for people. The only difference is that I've opened Ganon's Castle Bridge, so I can go straight to Ganon's Castle. But I can't go to the boss because the boss is locked behind all 6 medallions, which you would normally see on the top row of my tracker. However, I didn't have room for it today, so no tracker. I need the 5 medallions. Right, hang on, 1 sec. That is a gold Skulltula. That's one of 100. I've also shuffled every gold Skulltula token reward in dungeons. So dungeons get a bit more value because I've also had to put the maps and compasses back in. That's a slingshot. Slingshot is useful because it's now a child-ranged weapon. Now, before anything else, what I'm doing here is if you look in the waterfall, hovering down this way will let me see what's in the waterfall, because a quirk of the randomizer is it changes what the items that are freestanding look like. That's a heart piece, for example. Right, this hint is the hint for the Burning Kakariko check, which is the Nocturne of Shadow, normally. So the Nocturne check is Bolero. That means that the planting the bean in Death Mountain Crater is actually almost impossible, because it's going to require me to beat 2 medallion dungeons, fire and water. We have forest. We started with the forest medallion. I don't think I get to number 5 now, actually. So our goal at the moment, my early game goal is to try and get as much knowledge and early game items as I can, and then work towards goals. In this case, I will probably do something called the free song route, which does basically 3 songs. Okay, that's a foolish hint. That tells me that the Death Mountain Trail is completely useless. There's no point getting any item there because they're all rubbish. So now we're going to do a little bit of fun. No, focus the wall, please. Thank you. To backwalk. No, wrong angle. There we go. Backwalk around the lake. Because round the back of the lake are 2 more hint stones. And while hints aren't as powerful in bingo as they are in normal randomizer, they're still going to be useful to point us towards certain items. That is another song hint. That is a Sun Song hint. So the Sun Song check actually gives you the Prelude of Light, which warps you to the Temple of Time.
Nobody likes being left out. That's why Special Effect are helping people with physical disabilities to play video games. But this isn't just about having fun. The gaming setups we create are personalised, so people can play to the very best of their abilities. And that opens the door to inclusion and independence, confidence and creativity. Help us level the playing field and create more magical gaming moments. Because it's everyone's turn to play.
Okay, I think I'm back. Apologise for that. That was out of nowhere. I'm a little concerned because looking at my OBS, apparently I've got -5 dropped frames. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay. Gonna keep going. And hopefully nothing too serious broke there. Okay, that's a useful hint. That tells you what's on the skull mask check, which is normally a very long and boring check. Okay. Yeah. Honestly. Just gonna refresh my chat quickly before I move on. F5 on the chat. Also, this being the first time my internet's gone haywire is worrying. I'm just really hoping it doesn't happen again, because that's concerning. I'm gonna close that. Let me know if anything's going wrong, by the way. So we go from here. We'll go over to this ledge over here. Because over here gives us our first mini-game. There were a couple mini-games in Ocarina of Time. This is the one that everyone used to hate. Until the most recent randomizer, 5.0, which fixed it. Somewhat. We're going fishing. Fishing is very simple. Target the fish, throw the rod, pray. No, grab it, grab it, grab it. There we go. Once he grabs it, dramatic music starts happening. As you can notice, the music's randomized as well. Oh, I can feel the discordant notes there. Oh. Talk to the guy, show him the giant fish, and he gives us, as a reward, 50 rupees! We got a discount! Hand the rod back, because if you try and leave with the rod, he shouts at you. No joke. We're over here, because over here is where Ruto's letter normally spawns. I know, right, Jerry? The music's amazing. That's Deku Nuts. We're going to have to come back for that later, because if that's capacity, that's a square. So remember, that's there. Right, go to the Scarecrow, pull out your Ocarina. Who wants to play us a song? We're going to play A and Down 4 times, because that is clearly the most powerful, intense music we can do. Right, now I've got to be really quick here, because I need to make a nighttime. I need to make it to this owl before nighttime. I'm not going to do that, sadly. No, the music's faded. If the music fades before I get on the bridge, there's no way I'm making it. Watch the wall. Yep, the skull tool appeared, therefore I'm too late. So now, we talk to this owl. Oh yeah, I call myself RASA. Because why wouldn't I, you know? You never saw that because I never actually got to it. So now I'm going to wait until the drawbridge opens at the start of the night, the end of the night. But for now, what we're going to do, we're going to stand here, in a very specific location, and just wait. Because there's nothing else we can do. We need that bridge open. So we get some downtime. But we just had some downtime, so now we get downtime 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. I'm actually amazed they can't hit me. These, by the way, are stealth children. We don't know... I'm not entirely sure where they come from. Also, if you press L, the map vanishes. Press L again, comes back. The stealth children will appear anytime you travel through Hyrule Field at night as a child. If you kill enough of them, or run away from enough of them, a giant one shows up. They can drop items, but I have no real weapon. Actually, yes I do. Hold on. Hold, please. Just remember I have those, and I should equip them. One sculpture up. Right, before anything else, these medallions here, these are the 6 we need to unlock Ganon's Castle boss key. Oh, absolutely, rant away. I will acknowledge when I see it. Looking at the sun. Oh, yeah, I lost about a minute for that. Honestly, missing this by a second or two is terrible. Missing it by about 10 seconds is fine, because it means you can absolutely... Wait, now, you have to wait. Now, this bridge is kind of unique. You have to wait until it's fully down, otherwise you have a chance of phasing through it. I don't make the rules. Right. This box has a skull in it. And, funny little quirk about throwing things. Pots deal damage equal to a Deku Stick. So they will kill stuff. So I kill that skull, put me to 2 skulls. And now I have 2 skulls. The objective is to get the skulls for the check. There's checks you can do with them later. There's checks for 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. First one, a check is basically where an item can be. Like this is a check. This is the second minigame. This is shooting gallery. Child shooting. There's 2 of them. There's child, there's adult. The child one is easy, really, as long as you know where the things turn up, because there's always a set pattern. it's always the standalone green, then one at a time blues, then the jumping green, then the double blue, then right to left reds, and then left to right reds. You have to remember left to right reds are twice as fast, so you may end up missing one. You get 15 bullets to hit all 10. If you hit 8 or 9, you get a redo for free. Any less than 8, you have to pay for another redo. And perfect 10, you get the prize. It costs 20 rupees. If you somehow... Actually, no. If you... As a child, you are not expected to get here without the slingshot, because normally you have to beat Deku Tree to leave the forest. Oh boy! That is magic. Is that on the board? No. Magic is one of the more powerful items in the game. It's one of 3 items that are always 100% required. If you get 0... Yeah, if you get 0, honestly, you need to practice your aim. Kill the skull. Now, go over and talk to Miss Girl. She gives us one of the only non-randomized items in the game. The weird egg. This is important. I'm wondering, why is an egg so important? We need this to start the free song route. This hint, by the way. Ah! Yeah, I'm still not sure why that happens. So, this hint right here, 40 gold skulls reveals a gold skull token. That basically means that 40 skulls is effectively dead, unless you need 50. 50 is the absolute most you will need in any seed, but does not make it really dumb to get into Ganon's castle. Because there is a setting that requires 100 of those tokens, so all of them, to cross into Ganon's castle. It is incredibly dumb. Now, we're coming up here because there's a hint stone up here. Then we're going to go back into the market. London Ranch is on the way to Heroes, so that is most likely for the song, because there is a song in London Ranch. There is a song and 2 items that you can get. Hyrule Castle has a song in the castle itself, but we need to have the weird egg hatched before we can do that. And to hatch the weird egg, we need it to turn from nighttime to daytime. So we're going into downtime 3, for downtiming. We're going to wait here until it turns to night. This is why making the owl just before nighttime is important. Because otherwise you have to go through 2 day-night cycle waits. 1 for night to day, and 1 for day to night. It's incredibly awkward. And those of you watching will realise that Link is doing his damnedest to put you all to sleep. The worst part about this one, as well, we don't always wander around in an area that passes time. The sun's only just started to go down. Daytime is actually longer than nighttime in Hyrule. Ocarina of Time is played in the summer months, which is unfortunate for waiting for day to night. You may see me waiting for a lot of day-night cycles. That's because quite a few overworld gold sculptures only appear at night time. So you need to wait. So until we get the Sun Song, which changes it freely, there's going to be a lot of waiting if we need to change it from night to day or day to night. You heard music just then starting? That was Malon starting to sing, because apparently Malon can sing guitar. Malon's the name of the girl, by the way. Right, before we do anything else here, there's 4 hint stones over here. We're checking all 4 of them. Oh, that's not good. So the Ocarina of Time is obtained. The Ocarina of Time is obtained by getting the 3 spiritual stones, which are the non-medallion things, which normally aren't required. There's a Colossus Way of the Hero. The Ocarina of Time check could mean we have to see every dungeon in the game. Well, to be fair, the bingo board means that anyway. Looting Gerudo Training Ground is a foolish choice. Normally, I would celebrate that, because that's 20 odd chests you don't have to open. Unfortunately, we need 8 keys. And London Ranch again. Each Way of the Hero in this hint system appears twice. So if you see it twice, if you see it a third time, it means it's Way of the Hero twice. Anyway, we're going to do one person in the chat's favourite check. This dog is named Richard. His owner is very worried. we're going to return him. And we're going to get a gift for doing so. Oh, that was loud. Hey, a blue rupee. We get rewarded with pocket change. How nice. Return this dog and its pocket change. I guess it could be worse. It could be nothing. So the box just here behind this guard, that box I just ran past, has 20 rupees in it. I'm going to save those rupees for later. Malon singing right here, by the way, tells us what song's in London Ranch. In this case, it's Kakariko Village's song. Oh yeah, I know DexNav. DexNav's a good system. I need to find my copy of all that so I can get back to hunting on it. Yeah, I think fleeing does actually count, Kyle. All you got to do is actually get into the battle. That's useful. That's actually really useful. I'm honestly failing to see an issue here. Right, so we made it up here a little early. So we're going to push one of the boxes over. Because we can't push the boxes through Talon, the man here, who bears a passive resemblance to a certain Italian plumber. I refuse to believe it was intentional. And if we look closely at that thing he's wearing, that's Bowser. That is clearly Bowser on his chest. Tell me that's not Bowser. The egg hatched, and we use the egg, the chicken, to wake up the guy, which moves the guy, sending him back to the ranch for later. That means you push this box to here. It's a me, a cameo. What I did there was save me pushing a full block, even though it's faster in rando, by using a stick to jump slash. Oh, okay, I see your problem now, Carl, yeah. Right, so now we have a letter. We need that to open Kakariko Gate later. And we're about to get our first song check. Which is Sun Song. My entire rant about the time of day has just ended, because now we can control time. Which makes life significantly easier. Right, so the game wants us to go to Kakariko after doing that. Oh, that sucks, Carl. That's an awful way to lose a chain. Right, so from here, once you've left the castle, we go straight to London Ranch. You would normally go to Kakariko in story. This is more of a side area, but in here, it's some very important checks, especially since we know one of them's required to get the final boss key. Not we're going to see the final boss, but still. Now, we're going to find 3 chickens amongst a group of lots. And I mean lots. So we saw one drop, so we picked this one up. Right, so the key is, the chicken we want dips their head lower. So I believe it's this one. Yes, it is. Fun fact about that room, any chicken you've already picked up, you can Z-target. Which is the lock-on system. That's a strength upgrade. That might be our required item. Strength is very important because now we can do 3 different dungeons. Or at least progress in 3 different dungeons. Missing that tree 3 separate times. And he's a 6 to kill. Up to 4 tokens. Remember our first goal for this is 10. Now we're going to talk to Malon again, who this time we talked to her with our Ocarina. Which gives us a song, which is Song of Storms. Now, that in the way of the hero area is kind of scary, because that gives us access to Bottom of the Well, which is not actually required at all on this board. Or normally in the game. Because it's a child dungeon that you normally do immediately preceding Shadow Temple to get the Lens of Truth. But in Randomizer, it's a bit different. It can have a lot of stuff in it. It can also be massive bait. Occasionally, it can even be useful for more than one thing. Now we back walk over to this tower. Now, if we go into here, we'll see some cows and some blocks. Normally there's this massive block puzzle to get behind here. But what you do is you jump over here. You pull this block back once. You climb back on it. You jump behind it. You target this way and you crawl through this gap. Which shows us bomb chews. These are portable bombs. We need to hope for a lot of these. We're going to pause. We got 10. 10 bomb chews is good. So we're going to save. And I'm going to reset. Yeah. The music gets a bit weird sometimes. So, what this does, right, I've saved. Oh, God. This takes me back to the screen. So you can see RASA, one special day, and today's date. What this does is takes us back to the start. With our items. It's a good way to get across the world quickly. This gives us the last area left in Kokiri Forest. Yeah, I thought so. Fun little quirk, by the way. This rock here, remember the pots? You can throw them at damages? You'd think rocks would do the same. No, rocks have no damage value. They will deal 0 damage. You saw the blue rupee? I'm leaving it there because I might need it later. Right, I'm going to go talk to this stone for another hint. There's a Colossus. That's the second time we've seen that, so we need to make a note of that. And now, we pull this out. Place Song of Storms. This makes it rain, which for some reason creates a sinkhole and a fairy. The sinkhole takes us to another chest. Sticks and stones may break your bones. Sticks definitely will in this game. Stones won't do much. That's a Deku shield. That means we now have a shield. That saves us 40 rupees. Believe it or not, a wooden shield in this game is 40 rupees. And, oh, this is an item, this is a check at the very end of Shadow Temple. It's an invisible maze, and you have to kill an invisible hand. In this case, we've been told it has an ice trap, which freezes you for a couple of seconds, and, crucially, damages you. So if you're on low health, ice traps can and will kill you. There are 6 in the game. Oh, for God's sake. Welcome to the Lost Woods, by the way. I have no Deku nuts. Interesting. So Lost Woods has a bunch of stuff we can do. We can actually do most of it in one trip. First stop. No. Actually, no, first stop's going to be the hint. Bigoron grants a blue rupee. Bigoron is the end of the adult trade quest. A long chain of items, which thankfully in Randomizer at least is shrunk. To be just the last half, but it's still tedious. Hey! More health. And annoying audio. I'm sorry about that, guys. It shouldn't be doing it. Having an extra heart. Oh yeah, also the heart and magic colours have been changed. That's another cosmetic that got modified. And this is actually what I really like. Not the colours aren't that kind of meh. That Skull Kid we just passed. He will give us an item if we play Saria's song for him. We get that, we'll hopefully find that soon. Now, shoot this target 3 times, get 100 points. It's a vanilla item. That is actually what's there normally. We'll go back from up here and land on the stump. This is the... Oh, I'm not in my place. This is the fall asleep moment. This is follow the leader. This right here is one of the best changes the randomizer made. Oh, wow, okay. This normally is 8 notes. You have to play this until you have done 8 notes. Twice to get the item. Apparently we're playing the menu at a forest. Randomizer only has 1 session of 5. And it gives us the silver scale. That lets us dive further. Which brings up an interesting point. I'm going to talk about the logic. So, BINGOmiser actually has a built-in logic system to make sure every randomizer seed you roll is beatable. By which it means it will not put an item behind... The only instance of an item will not be put behind something where you cannot get it. Well, you can't... If you need an item to beat the game, it will not be somewhere impossible to get within the glitchless logic of the game. Using the bomb chew has bypassed that logic, because this isn't in logic, it's like a bomb bag. Although, thank God we found magic, because that would have made me panic a little. 50 skulls having magic is usually something that makes people cry, because magic is a required item. No matter what dungeons you have to beat, no matter what you have to fight, the final boss requires bow, magic, and light arrows. Those are always automatically required. Magic being on 50 skulls means you need to collect 50 Skulltula tokens. That's a heart piece. 4 heart pieces makes 1 heart container. Very simple. That's been in a thing since Links of the Past, I believe. Right, now we're done with Lost Woods for now. We're going to go through to Sacred Forest Meadow. In here, we fight a Wolfos, who takes extra damage from being hit in the butt. There's a hint stone up there. We have to come back down once you've gone in, because there are 3 hint stones in Sacred Forest Meadow. It's a powerful area for hints. Nobody in there. We only need 20 rupees by the time we leave this area, because the next stop we're going requires 20 rupees for a check. If you guys in chat have any questions about Ocarina of Time, feel free to ask them. I know more about this game than I probably should. However, this song is always Saria's song. In this case, it's Serenade of Water, which is actually logically never required because it doesn't unlock any checks. So it could be in Foolish Choice locations. Okay, Frogs of Zora River. That is a check that requires you to have Zelda's Lullaby, Epona's Song, Saria's Song, Sun's Song, Song of Time, and Song of Storms. Basically, every single non-warp song. Jammy, that's a question I don't actually know. You can manipulate time with Ocarina, you can make it nighttime, or daytime, but telling the time, I don't know. 40 gold, we know that one already, we're not going to see it again. And for our other hint, Kakariko Village is on the way to Hero. This is what a hint that I like to call the sky's blue. Because Kakariko Village is a location that has so many what are called Sphere Zero checks. Which are checks which you can do with no items at all. Off the top of my head I can think of 5 that Kakariko Village has. And that's Man on the Roof, Back Grotto at the back, Chickens, Andrew's Adult, and Windmill. With the settings, this is actually number 2, but we'll get to that in a moment. I went the wrong way. Time? You can try it, but I don't think it'll play very well. It'll add taste to stuff, though. Okay, so we're going to use our... So Silver Skeleton dive for 6 seconds before you come back up. That's just enough time to slip into this shortcut, which takes us all the way from Lost Woods to Zora's River. That's me how I hold the breath for that long. That's a boomerang. We might actually need that. First things first, hit stone. I mean, that depends. Is it an Ocarina that helps with crimes, or is it an Ocarina that is a crime? Or is it an Ocarina that does crimes independently? Or is it an Ocarina if you play a song, crime will happen? Possibilities are endless. As is, unfortunately, my potential to fail. Right, so the boomerang we just saw is annoying because it can actually be used to get said boomerang if you had it. That is an item that can be picked up with a boomerang. Now, these are the frogs you normally have to play the 6 songs to. They also have a check if you play just Song of Storms. Because frogs love singing in the rain. Makes lots of sense, right? That's a gold token. We have 5 now. So I'm going to go down to the bottom. Don't dive. And apparently the water here has rupees in it. So if I take a left here, swing through here, 20 rupees just sliding in the water. Now, if I fall down here and end up going down there, I have to spend another bomb shoot to get back up here. I'm going to grab this chicken. I'm going to need beans, aren't I, actually? Throw the chicken away. Let's go talk to the bean seller. This guy sells beans for 10 rupees. Go up by 10 rupees for... But it goes up by 10 rupees for every single one you buy. So I'm going to buy 2. 2 is going to need. Hopefully we're going to use 3. We have to plant a bean in the crater for a square, which hopefully we can actually get to do today. So, the chicken. When you're holding a chicken, you float down. However, if you let go of a chicken in midair, you just plummet. We've only seen floating once in Ocarina Valley. This is also the most peaceful river ever. We have the title of it. Normally you come up here to do this to get the item. However, it's a bundle of arrows. Oh dear. If we keep this up, I'm sure someone's going to need to craft a pine condominium. I'll let you work that one out yourself. Right, so we bring the chicken over here. We don't need chicken from that point onwards. We can just climb this ladder. And this takes us up here. This is actually, in here, a Sphere 0 check. Because for adult, the rocks at the bottom aren't there. So we're going to use this opportunity to go grab this item. And hope it's something nice. It's a piece of heart. Any piece of heart you get will also fully heal you. We knew that already. You notice that every stone has different hints? There are 40 hint stones in the game. And 20 unique hints. Go over get this one. I try and first get hints early. Let's go ask again. So with the hint distribution, I think we've started something here, guys. I think we've started something. Getting the boomerang here, by the way, means you can start ticking off some squares. This boomerang makes skull collecting a lot easier. So you can at least get the London Ranch ones. So that's the square immediately. These are my people. We hover over and we have the boomerang. Now I need that chicken. So I need to pick that chicken back up. Boomerang will help us pick stuff up later on, including more tokens. Now, here's the tricky bit. I'm not actually meant to be able to go in here this way. But with a chicken, go around the back. Side, I like that. If I do this, that's your Ocarina of sign. Now here's the moment of truth. Oh! This square has to be marked. But I have to take it off the count at the end because I actually cannot find Muto's letter in this seed. That's our second Hackaway of the hero, which proves that once and all for all, the sky is in fact blue. So Muto's letter is... Right, so it's a diving game. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. Ocarina, the items are falling in the water. Pay attention to what I do here, because this is going to not make much sense until I explain it. I'm not going to dive. I'm going to go the opposite direction. Because I'm going to try and do 2 checks in one. I'm going to light this torch. Take it with me. Down to this torch. I'm going to light said torch. I'm going to stand at a very specific location and put the torch away and hope it worked. If it did, I'll explain it after I'm done. Now I'm going to pick up the rupees. This is going to take me a couple dives. Oh, that almost made me take 4 dives. 4 dives is an almost instant fail. Right. And grab this one. There we go. Now, moment of truth. Did this work? It did! What I just did there was a trick known as flame storage. The stick passing through the source of the fire at the moment the stick is put away stores the fire on the stick. So as long as the original fire is loaded, which the torch I lit there was, the stick will be lit on fire when you pull it back out. And that enables me to get both of those checks in one trip rather than having to look for 2. I appreciate all of these jokes because they're probably going to keep me going through the first hour. Oh yeah, actually, this pot right here. That's a guaranteed Deku Nut drop. It's always Deku Nuts. I'm going to use that to get my first supply of Deku Nuts. Oh my god, guys. Never change. Right, so we're going to take a quick detour once we talk to this guy. This guy normally gives us a Zora scale. This time he's giving us a token. Right. I think it was still nighttime when I came in, which I believe means I can get something out here. So I'm going to equip my bendy stick. Oh, you guys. God damn it. Roll past the giant fish. That guy, by the way, is the source for my low health sound. If we don't hear it by the end of my timer, I will very quickly play it by taking lots of damage. This hintstone says, treasure chest game! Oh no, that's about... Oh dear. Well, I guess that's how to talk about treasure chest game. Treasure chest game is a mini game in Hyrule Castle Market, which you can only play at night time. It costs you 10 rupees and you go through 5 rooms, each with 2 chests. One has a key, one has money. If you make it to the end, you get the prize. Unfortunately, it is also 50-50. So it is a 1 in 32 chance of getting the item. Unless you have the Lens of Truth, which shows you what's in both chests. I've been told that hint's told me that Din's Fire is in there, which is not only required for a square, row 2, column 2, it's also required to enter Shadow Temple. We need that one. So now I need to go and find the, that was a whistle bullet. Yeah. That's 8 tokens so far. The one next to the tree branch over here only appears at night. Also, that cave over there you may have seen. Just over there. Nope. Okay. I have to go over here to see it. Over there. That's Ice Cavern. You can only get in as adult. Unless you know how to bomb hover, but that's not really something I want to try and learn because it's actually really difficult. It's basically frame perfect inputs. And even though it runs at 20 frames per second, that's still quite hard. Right, I think at this point I need to start heading towards the market again. Guys. I'm going to go through this shortcut here, which takes us from Zora's Domain back through to Lake Hylia. We'll also check this Deku Nut drop, see if it's actually the upgrade, because this will give us our first square. And, verdict says, moment of truth. It is! It's the upgrade! We have our first legit square. We're now up to 2 squares. Alright. I'm going to go to the owl again and fly back over to the market. And from the market, I am going to head to the Temple of Time, which allows... No, it's the Ocarina of Grime if Stormzy uses it in a song. So, the owl cutscene, which is also sped up in randomizer. Oh! Watch this! Not that. This. Side hop up the chain. Jump off. 40 rupees. Nice. Right. Back in the market. Wait, isn't it? Hold, please. I think I know why, but hold, please. Have a little bit of lag while I quickly refresh this. Sorry guys, give me a second. And join spectator. There you go, should be better now. And hide preview. That should be all good now. Sorry about that, guys. So, Root Letter isn't actually a square. I'm going to be deducting it from the count because I forgot it's not actually in the seed because I've opened the fountain. Right, welcome to the Temple of Time. This is where you embrace puberty. But first, let's find out where our stones are. So to get the Song of Time, we need 3 spiritual stones, and this place is going to tell us they are in the Shadow Temple, the Forest Temple, and the Deku Tree. Which means that we need Din's Fire from the treasure chest game to get a stone to get Song of Time. Which means I hope the Song of Time is not required. And that is the fanfare for pulling a sword from a stone. So this is how Hylians engage in their puberty. By pulling a sword from a stone, they age 7 years. And learn Saria's song, because I have the Forest Medallion. A song which normally only works, has used as a child, but has a couple used as an adult. A quick test, by the way. Did that update when I quickly clicked off and on 30 Deku Nut? Also, while I'm here, our 5 extra medallions are in the Water Temple for the Light Medallion. This medallion serves no real purpose. We already have that one. The Spirit Temple for the Fire. So we're not getting Bolero, we're at Spirit and Fire Temples. Oh, that's going to be awkward. We can't walk to Fire Temple to get that. Jabu. Jabu is the 3rd child dungeon, and Dodongos is the 2nd. The 2 main child dungeons are actually both pretty nice. Yes, I appreciate that humour. Okay, this is what happens in the 7 years. In the 7 years gap. Shit gets really depressing. And now we got lots of friendly faces who just want to give you a hug. Don't let them hug you. They will eat your back. They will eat the back of your head off. Right, so if we go through, there's nothing for us in Hyrule Market anymore. All the shops are now in Kakariko, so we're heading to Kakariko. Thanks, Carp. So if we backwalk, 1 side hop, and then backwalk again, this takes us straight to Kakariko. Welcome to Kakariko Village, one of the last safe places in Hyrule. No worries, Richard. There's no pressure to stay. I appreciate you coming along. I'm sure we all do here at RASA. And catch you later, dude. Thanks for watching. That is normally when the adult trade quest starts. You get given a pocket cuckoo, which is in an egg form. I'll go for that whole trade quest later. It takes forever. No. Oh yeah, what I did there. This hitbox is only. This hitbox here for the fence above me is only actually solid one way, so you can jump through it like that. The cow can keep its blue rupee. I don't really care. There's a few cases in the game where there's one-sided collision, and passing through it is actually allowed in the accessible rule set. If we go to here next, this is the windmill. Ooh, bulb tree refill. I'm going to show you another trick. Step on here. Normally you have to go through the Dampe race to get to this area. And have stronger time. But with that trick, you can just get straight there. Down there is Dampe, which is a very annoying race that you will see in a few minutes. But over here is a refill on bomb chews, and it is... It's another 10 pack. Sweet, we now have 18 bomb chews. Really useful. Go with this guy, part of Ocarina. He gets mad because... Okay, so this is a case where Ocarina of Time is rather paradoxical. So, the well outside is drained by this windmill 7 years ago by a song being played by a kid who learns the song at this point in time when the well is already drained from the guy who was in the windmill at the time the well was drained, with this song that you normally learn here being played. Don't try and work out time logic for this game, you'll have a massive headache. That, on the other hand, is Zelda's Lullaby. It's a very important song. And it is probably why Kakariko Village is Way of the Hero. Alright, Carl. Oh, that's painful. So we now have Zelda's Lullaby, which opens up quite a lot of the game. It is required to finish Water Temple. It is required to get several items in Spirit Temple. Yeah, Windmill goes crazy once you play Song of Storms normally. What's the graveyard? We're gonna desecrate some graves. Desecrated graves. My favourite. Pull this back. This grave has a pit in it, which falls into a chest. And possible surgery for Link. Ah! That's a nice trap. Nasty little bugger. That grave was a lot deeper than 6 foot, by the way. Another one is deeper than 6 foot is this one. This is a random... The other grave had flowers full of it to mark it. This one does. You expect to know this one? In here is a zombie. Little known fact about zombies. If you play the Sun Song, a song which is the power of sunlight, it freezes the zombie. Redeads and Gibdos in this game freeze when you play Sun Song. And this grave is spawned a chest, as long as you're standing on the podium. And this is a recovery heart. Completely useless. Wait. We know that the song back here is Prelude. This could actually qualify as a foolish location. Because the songs Prelude of Light and Serenade of Water are the only 2 songs in the game which do not unlock something. Requiem Spirit gives you access to the desert side. Nocturne Shadow gives you access to the Shadow Temple, which is directly above this grave. That's not a targeted enemy. Below of Fire gives you access to Plant the Venus Child and to the, what's it called? To the Fire Temple if you haven't got a hookshot or hover boots. And Minuet just bypasses the Cyrus song. But we have Cyrus songs, it's fine. Don't step in Pilgrim Group at home, kids. So, even though you don't need this song to beat the game, Prelude is such a convenient song that I always get it if I know where it is, and it's quick to get, because holy Christ, it's convenient. Also, we need songs. Pardon, sorry about that. One of the bingo card slots are 10 songs. And we currently have 6. Of the remaining songs, one of them requires me to find the Fire and Water Battalions. One of them requires me to go up to Sacred Forest Meadow and learn it. One of them requires me to go into the Death Mountain Crater, which is concerning, but that's actually Way of the Hero. One of them needs me to... And one of them does... Yeah. One of the remaining ones left needs me to go and... the Ice Cavern. Let's put the sword away. So watch this, right? If I get this right. Link can look through walls. That's a big Po bottle. I've played this enough that I can identify most freestanding items. In this case, that freestanding item was a bottle with a big Po in it. Bottles are very useful, and Big Po sells for 50 rupees and gives you an item. At the Po shop seller, who is in the house, who's in the building next to the Hyrule Castle, Hyrule Market entrance, the gatehouse, essentially. Right, this is Darnpay Race. You have to follow him and get to the end of his trail in under a minute to receive the second. Well, first time through, you don't have to get there. Doesn't matter how long you take. But he does move pretty fast. I think the most time you get is about a minute 15, minute 20. Second time, you have to beat it in a minute. That's a little grab glitch. Link tries to grab it, but then realizes he really can't at that angle. So he starts dropping. If you jump slash at the right moment, he will actually get up there. 51 seconds, a very good time. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn on the setting that gives you both items if you beat it under the time. So our first item is a heart piece, which heals us for what we're about to do next. This is very interesting. So, normally, when you do Darnpay Race, you have to go out this door here, go to the Song of Time blocks, and play Song of Time. But we haven't got Song of Time. So instead, I get this angle right. We're going to trigger the door and come back in before it shuts, and that warps us back to the start. So we can do Darnpay Race 2, Electric Boogaloo. This is the one that requires us to be under a minute. On the minute, 1 minute exactly will work. Something I haven't mentioned, by the way. This doorway here, if you take too long, you just might hit the tick in there. If it takes too long, the door will close and you'll be walked back to the start minus 1 heart. If you have double defense, it's half a heart instead. It's very costly to do that, so you can lose upwards of a minute. There we go, beautiful execution there. So to make it appear without falling off, should be about a 51 I think. But it's the smoothest I've played Darnpay in quite some time. Oh my god, a 50. For context, the best time you can get here without tassing, I believe is a 47 or 48. I didn't know I picked that up. Right, look down. So I will absolutely take a 50 on Darnpay. A little closer. If I fail that side hop and get stuck in the room, the only way out is a save warp, because you cannot use a song to warp out of that room. Right, we're done with graveyard for now, so we can move on from the graveyard. There's 3 more things I want to do in Kakariko before I leave completely and start climbing Death Mountain. 4 things. I just realised we have this open. First, I'm going to go in here and do the archery game. This is the adult archery game, and it's a bit more difficult because the order of things that come out are randomised. This is a natural randomiser. This is how it randomises the actual game as well. So any of the formations you saw before can come out in any order. I'm fortunate I managed to catch the reds going left to right quickly, because you don't get any reaction time if you're not careful. But I've played this enough times now, but I know that. Also arrow because of that. It's token up to 9. If we get to 10 before we leave here, that house over there, that's the house of Skulltula. That's where all of the tokens go. I just realised I'm 1 rupee short of what I need. I need 80 for the next thing I want to do. Does this have one? No. Does that rock have one? No, it has a heart. Of course it does. I'll take the heart though, because I do have a refill. Watch this. That didn't work. Come on. You can grab the edge of this house. It's just high enough. Oh, didn't even do it at the time. It takes a couple tries most of the time. Nope, angle was off. We could be here a little while, but I want to do this because it gives me 2 more items. Potentially. And a guaranteed source of rupees. There we go. Up on the roof. We're going to talk to this guy now. We're going to talk to him on the ground. I believe he's supposed to talk to him on the ground. He actually tells you about looking around. Talk to him here. He gives you a souvenir. It's token. We have another item we can check. We go over here, jump in this grotto, which is definitely a safety hazard. Go to another generic grotto. There's 9 of these scattered throughout the game. Recovery heart. That was painful. And our hint. Test game again. So, of the hints we're guaranteed each scene, we're missing the 30 Sculptural hint. We're missing a Way of the Hero hint. We're missing a Foolish Location hint. I think it's this one. Which one? There we go, 20 rupees. Those only appear once, by the way. Yeah, we're missing Way of the Hero, missing Foolish, we're missing the 30 Sculptural hint. We always get, and we're missing 1 random hint. The game gives you... The randomizer logic gives you 5 Way of the Hero locations, 3 Foolish locations, a hint for what's behind 30, 40, and 50 skulls, guaranteed, the adult trade quest, go on, the second Frog's check, which requires the 5 songs, the Skull Mask, which is the child trade quest, that's annoying to get, and the Ocarina of Time song, because they all take ages to do, and can potentially have no benefit, it's just wasted time. It also gives you 5 random locations, which could be song hints, hints at deep dungeons, or it could be out of the way checks. Or sometimes just nice stuff, like what's on Eva Fishing Game can be a potential hint. Which, in this case, would have been quite nice to find, if I'm honest. Right, we know the trail itself is empty of items, so we can ignore quite a bit of this. Find the box, please. So we can see that's what's top of here. That's a token. I might come back for that one. I'm not sure. But for now, we're going into Dodongo's Cavern, which is normally a child dungeon. I forgot to do something. We're going to rewind all of that. I'm going to go back down to Kakariko and buy what I meant to do earlier. Because there's something very important I need for this next dungeon. This is going to cost me valuable time, but it doesn't matter, because the day-night cycle does not matter. Because when you beat Dodongo's Cavern, which I'm going to do, it sets the time to noon. It is the same for Jabu. I believe Forest Temple does the same. All child dungeons set the Decatree, Dodongos, and Jabu, all the child dungeons, automatically set the time to noon when you beat them. Yes, I bought the shield, because the shield is actually very important. Shields help you a lot. So I'll equip that. And that makes my life easier, and you'll see why once we go back into the Dodongos. Dodongos is important because it'll give us a compass and a map for the 2 things. It will give us a medallion, which is also 1/2 of a check that I'll go through in a moment. Doesn't count as a temple. It does count for locations that can potentially have items as well. And it's honestly just 7 really quick checks. So that's why I want a shield, so I can quick drop the bomb tubes. Because normally to beat this dungeon, you need either strength 1 to get in this far, and you need bombs to actually beat the dungeon proper. But strength 1 and bomb tubes will beat it, just not logically. As adult, however, we can skip the entire right side of the dungeon. Right side bottom floor and right side top floor by virtue of being tall enough. Those are BINGOmos. A decadent or a close enough will automatically explode bomb tube. It's useful because otherwise they will go for quite a way before they stop. Right, so this room. I'm going to try a strat a couple times that I like to do. If I don't get it, it's fine. Alright, Jamie, thanks for sticking around for a bit. Thanks for good luck. I will probably catch you sometime tomorrow. I should be around for the afternoon. Got it. So, this room, all you have to do is blow up the bombs at the back at the same time to make the stairs fall. I do it in this case because bomb flowers blow up if you shoot them. So I use 2 well-timed arrows to make sure that both ones at the back blow up. We're going to go into here, because those stairs stay down until you leave the dungeon. We're going to go in here, slash this Armos, slash it again, get him a chest before he moves. I'm going to take damage here, it's fine. For more arrows. Beginning to notice something here. Right, so. This next room has 2 things I have to check before I leave it. And they're both Skulltula. But first, pot them aside of each of these rooms. The front one on each side has a guaranteed 20 rupee drop. So if you need money, 43 rupees in this room. Only once while you're in the dungeon. The other one would be a heart, or for your full health, it'll be a green rupee, which is worth 1. Right, so I'm going to shoot this Skulltula. I can't get to it right now. You need a hook shot to get it, but if I shoot it, I see it's a token. I've also shuffled the dungeon Skulltulas, so they can be tokens or they can be items. In this case, that is a Zora tunic. It is very important because fashion is hella important. It also means you can't drown underwater. We're going to put it on. It's a nice colour, we'll keep it on for a little bit. As a decorative drop, I actually want to keep those. This room, trivialised by the fact you were tall enough to climb there. Adult trivialised this dungeon, which is hilarious because in the glitchless game, you actually can't get here as you actually don't do a dungeon as adult. You have to do it as child to progress. It's quite interesting, really. As a child, your main shield's negative shield. If the bats hit you, you lose your shield. Spike traps can't be killed. They hit you, you lose. I think it's a quarter of a heart, but you're also crucially knocked back. This chest, right? It is 50 rupees. We're back to full. Now, this room is actually quite a tricky jump. So we're going to see how this goes. I think it might be car, I'm not sure. If it was around... Oh wow, first try. That jump is normally something that costs me a lot of time. Anyway, going in here. That's the map. We have the map for the cavern. That is 1 of 6. Little randomizer feature. If you pause and hold A on the item screen, you can see what medallions and stones you are once you've seen the hints, and what maps and compasses you have. I'm going to press the switch because I might need it later. I'm also a wuss, and if I fall down, it's quicker to do that than redo the entire dungeon. To progress, we have to blow this guy's eyes up. This is the point where logic abandons. So at this point, even this check here, you can't do anything past that switch I pushed without a bomb bag. Logically. Heart tear done. Oh, that's painful. This next section, I'm going to actually play it safe. I'm going to hold the bomb shoe here and not drop it. This will cost me half a heart. But it does trigger the thing I need. I'm then going to carefully climb out of the iron. Come on, come on. Go around and do the same with the other eye. Almost over jumped, so that would have been bad. I missed. I don't know how that missed, I was in the same place. There we go, got it. And that opens the way to the back of the dungeon. Before I go in there, there's 2 more checks I want to do. both of which are the section we skipped. But thankfully, both of which are literally right next to the entrance. Hit from the laser, that's fine. Now, this bit is going to be annoying because I need to kill these guys off. But when Dongas die, they blow up. Can I see that skull? You're supposed to see the skull shot. I'm trying to hit it so I can see what it's holding. Let's be a little bit further back. Yeah, I can kill it from here. I don't need arrows for this dungeon anyway. I need one afterwards. That's the compass. I need to get that. Now, this section is going to be clever. I'm going to try and save myself some bombs. That should be close enough. No. I'll just use the bomb chip. I was hoping to save one, but it's fine. This is the 4th of 5 in this dungeon. Yeah, I can do the heal, honestly. Oh, I actually took the hit. Damn. Now, I need the compass for a goal. So I'm going to do something which most people that play this game don't like. I'm going to do the alternate strat. Because the normal strat requires a hook shot, which I don't have, and the scarecrow shot, which I haven't gotten yet. So if you're paying attention, you'll realise that I am pushing a very slow statue. This is normally used to push the button behind me. However, in this case, we're pushing it a bit further. This takes about a minute. And I wish I was joking. So this is your moment to take a break if you want to. Stretch your legs, grab yourself a drink, or a bite to eat. Because we're gonna keep going after this. I can hear a keys flying around. That shouldn't be a thing. There shouldn't be one in this scene. So I can hear flapping of bat wings, but there should not be a keys in this scene. Oh, I haven't got my normal point of reference. Dongo should be the point of reference, actually. I think I just heard some spawn. Oh, that's a little bit like. Thankfully, blowing up won't actually trigger the statue to blow up or anything. Oh, good, got me 3 hearts. I'm gonna push this to here. There we go. Pushing's done. One of the slowest tricks in the game. The devs of the randomizer hate it. And it's a compass. We have 1 compass and 1 map. We need 3 more compasses and 5 more maps. A logical place we want to try ahead at some point is Fire Temple. Because if we can find a boss key there, we can just leave immediately. We don't need to fight Malvasia just yet. 4 different keys in Forest Temple, by the way, includes the boss keys. It's 4 of 6. Quick objection. We can't do deck entry because I've closed the forest. That pot I just broke, the second one, normally has a bomb refill, but I haven't got a bomb bag. So I'm doing slow Drongo strats, which involve strength. Okay, in here, for the last check before the boss. It's a token. I'll take it. That's 11 tokens. Fair enough. Sandwiches are good. That bat's coming down. You can tell when a bat's coming towards you because they will stop flapping their wings. Right. Astute listeners with ears will realise there's no music right now. That happens. So occasionally the music tracks will cut themselves out. Normally when the tracks overlap them. You notice the tracks are back temporarily? I need to sort out what's doing that sound thing. That's really irritating. Anyway, we're in the boss room. I lied, by the way. There's one more check. This is in the boss room. Those doesn't really count as the boss. That's Furor's Wind. That is a very useful warp spell. You can place it in each dungeon. So you can place it in any dungeon. Child and adult both get one. And you can walk back to that from any dungeon in the game. So I can put it in Forest Temple, for example, and walk back from Spirit Temple. Which opposite ends of the map. Right, this is going to be difficult. So grab a bomb. Feed the giant lizard. Hit him. With jump slash in this case. Jump slash does double the damage of a regular hit. This is the opposite. This is the mini boss music normally. Right, prop second bomb. You don't have a bomb bag for this. The flowers are there in case you run out of bombs in your bomb bag. And there we go. Those bomb flowers are specifically to stop soft locking. So if you come in here without any bombs and the flowers weren't there, you would be soft locked and you would have to leave and come back. And leaving is via a save warp or death. That is a very fitting fanfare, I'm sure. So what have we got from me to Dongo? King to Bongo! My first boss reward is a piece of heart. I'm going to leave it there. Go to the blue warp, and I officially now have the spirit medallion. The moment you touch the warp, you get the medallion. I believe that's how it works. Now, a little bit of a difference. Adult gets dumped at the bottom of the hill towards Kakariko Village. This means you have to run back up, because our next stop is about halfway up Death Mountain. Child gets dropped about halfway up this path. About where I am now. That's because their next stop is the top of Death Mountain. However, we don't want to go there just yet. Instead, we're going to take a quick detour. We know Death Mountain Trail is completely empty of treasure, so we're even going to skip the grotto that's here. The middle of our stone circle is a grotto that's open with strong storms. It's an overgeneric grotto. In here, on the other hand, we're going to go in, and we're going to stop a rolling Goron. We're going to stop it using the power of pointy sticks. Astute listeners with ears will realise there's also a gold sculpture nearby. I am RASA, hero of the Gorons. This just in, RASA Studios are a hero of the Gorons. What? Your name is also RASA? Hey, RASA, we're heroes! I guess it extra text because honestly the story is very easy to explain. Gandalf's followers took away all of the Okay, that's a bottle. That's funny because that's apparently a heat resistant tunic. So that milk is heat resistant, but if it's been anywhere warm, I don't want to drink it. Moo milk, Lon milk, sorry, I'm thinking Mario here. Lon milk will restore 5 hearts at a time, and you get 2 doses, 2 drinks of it per bottle. But the main use of it is to store other stuff. I'll probably go to that bottle soon. We're going to here. Now, when we go into a hot area without the Goron tunic, we have a timer start. That's nuts. The timer is 8 seconds for every full heart container you currently have at the entrance time. So right now I have 5 full hearts, so I have 40 seconds. If I had lost 2 hearts before coming in here, I would only have 24 seconds. That's not much time in Death Mountain Crater. Right, so summoning in here is required to beat the game. I'm inclined to think it's the song, that's normally how it works. But a token. Gold tokens can't be waived a hero. unless TMC's foolish choice, that's fine. Gold tokens can't be Wave the Hero unless you're using them to close the bridge. Then all tokens are Wave the Hero, because you need all 100 to open the bridge. I'm going to go up here, because up here is another hint. We're running low on bomb chews. I hope we have enough to finish what we need to do. I think I need one more after this hint. Blow a fire on Nocturne, which is actually really annoying. We're going to go to again to reset my timer. So I'm going to need the full 40. Right, what have we got down here then? This, you wouldn't notice from looking at this, but this is actually a climbable wall. At the bottom, about the middle is an item. Fell too far. Arrows, don't care. Normally I drop straight down. Actually, no, I am going to drop straight down and take the heart. I have to remember Death Bite and Trail is useless. Therefore, we don't need the fairy. Right. So, I'm going to do one more thing in Goron City, and that's open a shortcut. Because there is a shortcut from Goron City's Lost Woods that we saw me take accidentally earlier. However, you can't open it without bombs. Bringing a stick up here as child to light the bomb flowers, or, hilariously enough, you can open out with Din's fire, but from either side. Yeah, honestly, that hit was pretty ironic. I already knew it, but that's not the point. Right, so this is Mido Skip. There is a complicated setup to skip this little brat by using a ranged weapon. And a very complicated setup that basically involves find an angle, then jump and backflip several times and hope you get through. But I moved in I used Mido Skip, which skips Mido Skip by doing the intended mechanic. Right, so I have a bottle and I have a ranged weapon. I don't have bombs. I just realised I made a mistake here. I'm actually going to go back on my path. Once I've got on the song for Sheik, who's waiting for me at Sacred Frost Meadow. Actually, no. I'm going to do Ice Cavern first. Now, you remember Zor's Domain from before? This is it 7 years later. It's a little bit colder now. Ice Cavern got a bit too cold. And it spread the ice everywhere. It got so cold, King Zora is frozen. That can't be good for his circulation. Right. So we go through here, back to Zora River. You might remember before you saw a giant fish. Giant fish be gone. Giant fish be dead. I want iron boot. I want hard boots for section, really. That's a Hylian shield. God damn it. Right, so I'm going to check, see if I can see that at the bottom here. It's a very precise look. I can't see it. I'll take another look from a different angle. I can't quite see that. It looked like the other Hylian shield. Oh, for God's sake. Have one more look. But it looks like a Hylian shield, which means both Hylian shields are in Zora Fountain. Now, one thing I want to do here before I go into Ice Cavern, I want to go back here, I want to look at this. I realised that for bingo board completion, I'm making a mistake, because coming out the hookshot, I can't do any of the 3 skulls. So this can be really problematic. I have to come back here later. Fairy Fountain, you play Lullaby, and you're in. I'm going to come here just for the song. Because the song can be really powerful, because we know where Below is, we know where Prelude is, and we know where Song of Time is. Which means the only songs that can be here, really, are Eponas, which is a square, Requiem, which gives me an area, and Minuet, which gives me a shortcut to another song. Requiem would also give me another song, so Requiem and Minuet would be ideal. opponents would give me access to the desert and to GTG, which is a square. But if you know what I'm doing, I'm mashing B to travel at double the speed through water, because you swim faster if you tap B. I'm not sure if it's a mash or if it's a rhythm. I just mash. These things are annoying. Right, watch this. So if I jump slash, a crouch stab will store the power of your most recent attack that isn't the crouch stab. So in this case, the crouch stab will do the damage of a Master Sword jump slash, which I call 4 damage. For reference, Kokiri Sword is 1 damage, Deku Stick and Master Sword is 2, and Beguron is 4. Missed that. I'll come back for this room because I want to check the skull. This doesn't count as getting the skulls because getting the item is the trigger that marks the square. Oh, motherfucker. That's the iron boots. I need those. I'm going to have to come back later. That's irritating. Yeah, quite. You can see them there just taunting me. If I had hookshot in here, it's fine. I'll try to 8 times this bottle. I actually have Ferals in this room if I need to. I can't remember where Ferals sets though. So I'll test it in a moment. But first, take 2 nice swigs of milk. 7-year milk. Absolutely delicious. So now we go back through the ice guillotine blade. I'm not sure how that works, but it's really fucking cool. And now we're going to go through here and go past this enemy. This enemy, by the way, is called, no joke, a Freezard. I'm not sure Nintendo know what they're doing with their naming. There are many examples. I'll go through a couple of them later, if we get to them. That is why Freezards are an annoying enemy, because Freezards will actually freeze him. As will the ice bats flying around, like that one. This dungeon's very dangerous if you miss a timing even once. This is Blue Fire. Blue Fire is special. Blue Fire melts red ice. Oh, really? Really? No, 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 no! Stop it! This is why I hate this dungeon so much. This dungeon is awful if you don't know what you're doing. Even if you do know what you're doing, it's awful. Wait for it to melt. Open the chest. And our survey says it's a gold token. That was 14. And you have 14 of what at the moment required 30. Because we know 50 is magic, but we already have magic, so we can ignore it. Thank God for that, honestly. Don't mind the random nutting there. Just a reminder to all of sundry watching that this is a charity live stream for special effects. And if I was as good at reminding me about special effects as I was about picking up the blue fire I need, I'd be out of here quicker. But yeah, special effects who are a very, very amazing charity who help less abled people game. To put it incredibly simply. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to weak mode. No, bugger off, bugger off, bugger off, that's gonna hit me. It lost interest. Exclamation mark donate will give you a link to donate. Any amount is appreciated. With much or little as you can afford. I can afford and want to, should I say. I forgot. I actually have a donation page open. I should go refresh quickly at the hour and a half mark. Our current total is £305.26. Of our £500 target, we've already passed 2 targets so far, which was 200 and 250. Behind here is, that's a quiver, so that'll give you an extra bow. That is a slingshot patch, which means one of the 2 checks coming up that's left is the map, and the other is the compass. We're gonna have to come back here, which honestly annoys me. But hopefully the song will give us another song. Anything but opponents here would be nice. And we have in here, this was the compass. So we get this cool effect where we have no map, but the arrows are still there. Hold on. Almost got blue fire again. That would have been bad. Grab blue fire. This is also a randomized choice. I'm on half a heart. Randomized choice of low health sand is not randomized. I always choose weep. Because it's a great reminder to, you know, get health. Get some health. Right, so before I enter this room proper, I'm going to kill the ice keys. These are special keys, by the way. These are actually separate enemies to normal keys. The fire keys we saw earlier are actually normal keys. They will lose their fire when they hit you. Ice keys won't. It's a huge rupee. Right, so this is actually one of the slower rooms in the game. It's definitely the slowest room in the dungeon. Because we actually need to go through it twice, essentially. Should we go over here? You might notice that we haven't got blue fire right now. And blue fire would really help. But I do this right. Sword clips through the ice, and the sword grabs a rupee for me. There are 5 rupees in this room. We need all 5 to open the door. That gold ruby does not count. We're going this way today. Since I haven't got bombs, let's do the room normally. Bombs would allow me to do a very cool trick called ground jumping, which really helps. There's 5th rupee. There's actually a jump you can do to get up there without having to push the block over, but I, quite frankly, do not trust myself. Now, I'll be careful not to fall in this pit, because if I fall in any pits, I will lose a heart of the half a heart health I have, and die. And not only will die, we'll be back to the start of the dungeon, so we'll fall in that pit. Okay, that's the hard bit of the dungeon done. There's only one more fight left, but it's free. I hesitate to use the term that something's free, but it really is. This is going to be a fight against a white Wolfos. This is a more powerful variant than the regular Wolfos. It usually has more health. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that at all. That is going to be struck from the record. Right, time for Ice Cavern Part 2. On our second trip here, we're going to beat the boss room, get the song at the end and the map, and grab more blue fire to unfreeze King Zora. King Zora can have an item and is also part of the adult trade quest, which is a part that's actually kept. Unfortunately, coming back here without finding bombs means we're going to have to come back here this way, we're going to have to push the block again. But that's not a big deal. I'm going to butcher this name horribly, but... Hello, Prob Rene Combo 33 who? If that's the third way you want that to be shortened, please let me know, because that is a hell of a name. Where's the ice keys gone? There it is. And the third one's back there. Ah. I see where this is going. Oh, I'll drop. I want that, I want that. Gotcha. Yeah. Do it. You, my friend, are going to be, yeah, let's just get rid of you now. Any RASA admins watching, that appears to be a spam bot account. As we come back here, the red ice is gone, so I can just go straight through to the room where I had to teleport out. This time, I'm actually going to do this fight properly and wait for him to come up and move back. There we go. Hit the back, it still does in one hit. I'm not sure what damage multiplier is there. There's the map. It's Minuet. Coming this way first was actually the right option. That puts us up to 7 songs. We can go to 8 songs almost immediately by using the song. We'll just... Oh, no. I just realised I actually want to go back out because I need to go to King Zora. Actually, I do need to... let's just do this now. I need the bottom in a minute anyway. So, we're going to take advantage of the pit here. Because warping out... Because voiding out in any of Ice Cavern, except through that door, it will put you back at the entrance, which goes straight back at Zora's Fountain. Swimming. What's the view? Let's have a quick look at this, actually. And we have... Okay, fair enough. Cool. Right, so... This giant fish over here is a bit cold right now. Let's warm up. I'm not sure of the logic of blue fire melting red ice, but it's definitely an interesting... there's definitely an interesting research grant to be gotten there. And you have for me... Bomb Tree refill! How many have you gotten for me? 20! Sweet! 20 pack is the nicest one to find. Because at this point now, we've had like 40 bomb chews. Bomb bag is logically required, but not really required. Right, Minuet. Warping here gives us the Minuet check immediately, which is... Epona's song, we have the horse. Unfortunately, now we have 4 song checks we have to go to. And it means that it does mean, however, I know where most of the songs in the game are. Okay, I can't go to Forest Temple right now, so I'm actually going to take benefit of Prelude. No, actually going to take benefit of Serenade. So, at this point in time, we can infer a few things. We know where Bolero is. Bolero Fire is on the Nocturne of Shadow check, which requires Spirit and Fire. We know that the Ocarina Time song, which requires the 3 stones, is on Song of Time. So Bolero, and we also know that Bolero, we know Bolero is on Song of Time. So we're missing Nocturne or we're missing Requiem. And the song checks we have left are Bolero song check and Prelude song check. Also, if this does not count as a song, this is a bonus one. There's only 12 songs in the game, that one does not count. From this point on, I'm going to... Nope. No, hang on. There we go. Play the correct song. No, call Epona's song. Call my horse. Because we are going to go to the desert. So we can't do much else here. So we're an hour and 40 in. We haven't actually got that much. We have some important items. We have magic. We have a boomerang. We have a bottle. We have the required items to go do Jabu Jabu. So we can go do that at some point. And trust me, we will. For now, I'm going to the desert. Because the desert also has sculptures for us. And we need all 4 of them. They also need hookshot though. We're going to the desert because even though GTG is a foolish location, so it has no real reason to go visit, we do still need to go clear Gerudo Fortress, which has some checks for us. I'm not quite sure what opponent hit there, to be honest. I know what she hit there. She tried to take off the bridge by accident. And now the angle's off, so I'm going to need to be careful. Ready for this? This is the best cinematic in the game. Jumping the bridge. Now, I'm going to go a little slower here, so I need to be daytime when I enter here. Wait here. There we go. Right. Entering into Gerudo Fortress. We're a little too early to hear the area's music. Which, if it's vanilla music, would be the nicest track in the game. Right, hop off the horse. I don't just shoot that guard if they're facing away. I just shoot them for safety. Now, we haven't got a hook shot, unfortunately, so let's do this fight slow. There's actually a very good strategy for this fight, which involves storing a jump slash, going behind the torch in the corner, and luring her in. And it's a little slower. It takes 5 jump slashes with this sword to kill the guard. So I'm trying to do a very careful strategy. If she hits you with a spin and barrier attack, you get knocked out and thrown out of the fortress. Since I have no hook shot, I'm thrown back to the carpenter's tent, which is quite a way away. And it's just a massive inconvenience for everyone. That's also what will happen if you get seen by a guard outside. I've lost track. How many are we on? Come on, come on. Come on. Do your spinny slash attack. That's not your spinny slash attack. Stop rolling. Rolling is my party trick. Come on. There we go. There we go, last hit. Of course that was taking that one. That's a cool pose. And she jumps through the ceiling. Now, normally, you have to go through 4 of those fights. But in this case, let's do 1. Now, without hover boots or a hook shot, we can't get the chest on the top of the roof. So I'm going to go round, grab my horse, and do a check that do a mini game, but normally takes me a while. You can see it's an option to use your bow on your horse, but there's actually a whole mini game up the top of here based around that. Oh, damn it, no, back on the horse. You have to be horseback to trigger this. There we go, that's close enough. You could randomise what the horses sound like. I don't want to do that. Okay, the goal is to get 1,000 points. Each pot is 1,000. Targets are 30, 60, and 100. The more hundreds you get, the better. forgot this was a fanfare. I've already got the goal. I just want to see how high I can get. So you get 20 arrows to do this. That's one of my highest scores ever. That was weird. Okay, so heart piece. Back on the horse. This is close enough to talk to her. Now, the second round, just do 1500. First round's 1000, which gives you quite a bit of leeway. Second round's 1500, which gives you none. First pot 700, is a good start. 850. I need to get another 650 on the second pass with 10 arrows. Not impossible. There we go. I'm going to do that on purpose because I think the fanfare was actually... The fanfares delay it. That's good to know. What we got? The second item is a piece of heart. I'm not sure what I've got left to do. I think I go back to child now, actually. Since I'm up to prelude. So, at this point, I think you're wondering, same as I am, where's all the items? At this point, I need to go over to child, because there's a dungeon I can do which will give me an item check, as well as the checks inside. Right, and off we go. Closest warp for me to get to somewhere is this one. We're going to go back to the forest, because the forest has a few more things we can do. First off, warping here is the closest place to get back to Jabu. Second, there's quite a few things in Goron City we can do, because we have items that will help us. We are actually logically able to do most of Goron City now. The difference we can't do are the bomb lock stuff, which are actually important. We can also do the Skull Kid, Skull Kid song check, which is playing Saria's song to the Skull Kid at the start. So that gives us another place we could look. And with a bottle, we can grab a fish and complete Jabu Jabu completely. So that's all the checks in there, because we have Boomerang to beat the boss. Going out and back in, because we're going to get back to the front. So this Skull Kid right here, very happy, very jolly. Don't kill him here as an adult, he will try and murder you. Anyway, Saria's song. This gives me Skull Token, that's 15, that's interesting. So we're done with this one, we're done with this Deku at the back. The only check left here that we can do is the theatre, which is Matt's Skull Mask, but we know what that is already. So we're effectively done with Lost Woods. So straight through. The shortcut that we opened as an adult is open as a child. This game is full of time paradoxes and time loops. Open this door requires a brief crack of the Lullaby of Zelda. And then we go inside and play Darunia Saria's song to cheer him up and give him a good time. Armor stick for the next section. No. Darunia gave me his nuts. Commence the joke. Well, slingshot, put the quickly. We don't need it at all. Now, I have two options. I can either do a spinning pot check here with the strength, because there's a bomb right there, or I can leave it and come back later. I'm going to exercise my second option here and go up and check to go on maze. Now, to go on maze is actually 3 checks, but one of them you cannot get as a child. There is no possible way. All the ways that have been found to get without cheating are done via adult. Let's see what path we go through. We go right, then we go left, then we go left, then we go right. And take every single hit. 2 chests back here and a hint stone. Arrows. Hint stone tells us 30 gold skulls is a heart container. We can stop killing skulls after 20. That's actually very important because we're about to get 5 in Kakariko. There's our second stick upgrade. We can now carry 30 sticks. So let's kill this. We kill 4 skulls in Kakariko, and we're done with skulls. We don't have to go past 20. Which is honestly quite nice to know. That's why 30, 40, 50 hints are there. Now from here, I'm going to go straight down here. And wait, because that giant rolling Gorog actually has an item for me. Hopefully. And from here we go back down to Kakariko and do the most important check in the game. A check that a lot of people actually ignore, but a check that is usually very important. And I'm talking, of course, about chickens. Andrew's Chickens is returning 7 chickens to a pen. Decker shield. Death by a single shield. That's fine. Don't do it. Honestly, all the worst of bunches. We're going to go and do the chicken check because it is also a Sphere 0 check in a weird hero location. Which means it requires no items to do, and it could potentially be an item required to beat the game. I'm going to completely skip the skull token here. I'm just going to use this part to get writing quicker. There's a skull throw in the wall to the left, but it would require a bomb to reach. So, no. I'm doing surprisingly well on stream so far. Nothing. Only had 1 major break. This gate is one-way collision. You can walk straight through. I wouldn't normally open it, but don't have to. This music's vanilla, by the way. Right, chicken time. There's some specific route I use depending on which entrance I come in. First route is quite simply grab this chicken, hover over, throw it down, throw that down. Those chickens will go towards the pen. They will run. They will always. After you throw a chicken, they'll jump up and down for a few seconds and then run away from where you're facing. So you want to very specifically aim to have them go in the direction you want. After a few seconds of running away from you, they will start moving. I think it's just randomly at that point. I've currently shown you 4 of the 7 chickens. This is being thrown that way, so I can go pick up this one. Chicken looting is a very efficient way to gain or lose in a lot of time. It only takes a couple minutes. There is a setting in the randomizer to remove this entirely, or make it a random number of chickens. In these settings, you have to grab all 7. Now, this is where I deviate from the intended strat. The intended strat is to grab the chicken you saw behind me, over the side of the pen, and hover over towards the witch's potion shop at the back. I do things slightly differently, and I think it's cool. First off, I seed RNG by falling off that ledge. if anyone actually believed that, I'd be amazed. When I climb this tower, in a normal run, this would be the first of 2 times I climb this tower. Because I get a sculpture at the top, which is about the last one across there. Jump off the side, puts me where man on roof is. Jump off this side, this puts me where both the chickens are. Fun fact about Kakariko. If you enter a grotto or building in Kakariko itself, the chickens you've already put in the pen will remain in the pen. This will not apply if you have all 7 in there. That'll reset them. I'm not sure if that's a randomizer quirk or an Ocarina of Time quirk. Or if it's just a quirk. Either way, we're going to go around here. This is the slower route, but I like doing this jump. Means if I get this right, I land on the fence, I do that. Grab a chicken over here for 6. We've got 5 at the moment, this one makes 6. In we go. And last one over here will make 7. And here we go. Don't know why I threw that chicken. I was trying to roll. I made a mistake. We're very quick to check how many skulls I've got because I suspect I'm 1 off. Nope, 16. Cool. Andrew. You give me a fine glass heart piece, which gives you my new heart container. Sweet, up to 6 hearts. 6 hearts at the 2-hour mark. I have not been playing very well today. We're halfway through, guys. 2 more hours of this wonderfulness. I'll probably stop about 3.5-hour mark, and then just talk through what I've done so far and what I had left to do at the time. That'll take us through. Right, so go out here. We play Sun Song. Sun Song sets the time back over to night time. And since we're in an area where time passes normally, this is crucial. We could have played it in Kakariko and set the time to midnight, but we actually need early night for something in... what's it called? In the graveyard. Right, so we're going to pull this guy out of there. Resume's right, because I'm going to show off another trick called Broken Stick. Backflip, shield, roll, pull out a stick, jump slash. You hear the stick try and break twice. It can't do that. So the second breaking actually interrupts the stick put away, so the stick never gets put away. Which means you've got a broken Deku Stick that's about the length of a Kokiri sword, but still does Deku Stick damage. And since we've jump slashed to it most recently, you do that. A stick can't actually break apart, which is weird. We're going to go over here. I'm going to do with 2 skulls over here, grab the 20 skull reward, and then go to have a chat with our everyone's favourite gravekeeper. That's 19. I think there's enough damage on a normal slash to kill a sculpture. So I'm just going to slash the last one. And that's 20. We're done with skulls. Hopefully this is a Kokiri sword, because something I haven't discussed as well. The Deku Tree's closed right now. We can't enter it until we find a Kokiri sword and a Deku shield. Choose. It looks like it's a 5-pack. Can't tell if it's a 5 or a 10-pack. Either way, it's choose. There is 1 20-pack, and then 5 split between 10 and 5-pack. I can't remember the exact ratio. Either way, let's go have a chat with Dompe. He takes 10 rupees off us and digs a random square. And if we're lucky, it'll be an item reward. Got a piece to get, guys. How many tries will this take? This is completely random. Oh my god, first try! No, I can't keep that up. Randomizer makes it a 100% guaranteed first try. No matter where he is in the graveyard. Right. So from Child Kakariko, we're actually going to go out to Hyrule Field. Now I think about it. We're going to do a loop around Hyrule Field. Because there's a few grottos we haven't actually done yet that we can now do with bombs. I believe there are 3 we can do and 1 we can look at. Because one of them is a freestanding item at the bottom of a pool of water, which requires either iron boots, which are currently behind the hook shot as far as we know, or the gold scale, which we have no idea where it is. It's the upgrade to the iron scale. You normally get it from fishing, which in randomizer is a lot more lenient than it is in regular, because they lowered the weights of the fish that are required, and the weights of the fish that are required are actually borderline impossible in regular Ocarina of Time. That might be exaggerating, but they are still very difficult. At this point I walk. Trying to grab a drink while running. It's not a wisest of ideas. There we go. Open that in a second. Oh. Well, you're still chaining, which is nice. Our destiny is a heart piece. That's called the Bolt of Destiny. That's a Spike Vegeta reference. We have to find this last weird hero hint soon, right? We've only got a few hints left. There's one behind Nocturne's Shadow, one in the desert behind Requiem the Spirit. Over here is the grotto that feasibly requires a Dolt. Let's be real here. Okay, so if we do that, it hitting the enemy that was spawning, it actually just gave us enough room to just hit it. Heart container, don't care. While we're here, if we can get a lot of magic time, we're going to tick off a square. It's going to be close, though, I think. Oops. Oh, yeah. No repels must suck. Uh-oh. It's going to be close. We'll put some time in there. Sun's not in there, rather. Oh, we made it. So it's currently nighttime in the ranch, despite the fact it's bright sunlight. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pick up the last 3 skulls. We don't need them normally, but this does get us a square. So we can finally end the drought of squares that we've had for 1 hour and 10 minutes. There's one at the back. I'm going to pause again because I actually want to rearm my sticks. There we go. You notice there are a lot of birds around. These birds are called Guays. G-U-A-Y. They are one of the nastier birds in the game because I'm actually going to equip an item to show an example quickly. Like if they start flying towards me, it'd be perfect. These birds can't be stunned. They will just turn around, which is honestly not a bad scenario. It just really sucks. So if you have a bunch following you, it's better just to kill them. This is the highest concentration room in the game. I believe there's 10 back here. It's either 9 or 10. Which sucks because 5 of them congregated around where I need to kill a Skulltula. I guess the nuts do scare off. It's just the only way in the game it doesn't get. The only enemy in the game susceptible to that but don't get stunned by them. And that is a square. Finally, first square in 1 hour 10 minutes. With a hour 25 to go. Oof. Yeah, isn't it like one of the higher end stuff you can get from pickup? Like one of the low odd ones? Still a nasty thing to have. I still think you're crazy for attempting it. But what do I know? I haven't played Pokemon in ages. I heard that Let's Go Eevee just transfer Meltans from Pokemon Go. That's all I've used it for recently. Oh wow, I just made it. That's amazing. Right, I want to aim for that over there with those trees. Also to rearm my bombs. Yeah, this point a bomb bag isn't required, but it is still very nice to have. When do repels unlock in Oras then? I was a little off on the angle, it's fine. Oh, level 41 to get the boosted chance. It's not worth it. Yeah, 10% for time if they have no item, it's 10%. That's a 1% chance. Ouch. 3 rupees. I am running out of places to look. Oh, Water Temple is way of the hero. That means that those iron boots are flat the fuck out required. Which means we need a hook shot from somewhere, which I'm expecting at this point is locked behind Jabu Jabu. Because this seems being too nice. Well, no, it's not. It's being too nasty. To not have something big in Jabu Jabu. That's a terrible angle because I was taking a drink at the same time. Right, this is precise, but not really. There we go. A little awkward there, but it's fine. Second up to we can go down, and you have for me gold skull token of 24, but not I need them. Closest to Jabu is Minuet, believe it or not. So from here we need to head back over to what's it called? Okay, so go over to Jabu. We need to grab a fish on the way through. Thankfully, we have a couple opportunities to do that. We can either dip in the grotto in Lost Woods, which has a guaranteed one. We can take a slight detour in Zora's Domain, which also has guaranteed 4. Or we can buy it for 300 rupees. I'd rather not buy one because that is an awkward thing to do. I'm going to take a quick detour here because it's slightly quicker than going down in Zora's Domain where the fish can run away. So we'll grab a free one. And we need this fish to get into the next dungeon, which I'm actually fully equipped for, so stop pausing. Since I'm curious, this is a latency test. When you hear the end of this sentence, say the word Kappa. Not bad. It's about 10 seconds. That's really good, actually. Thank you, Carl. Right, let's go do Jabu Jabu. Jabu Jabu should take me about 7 to 8 minutes for clearing everything, which includes all 4 Skulltulas and all 4 chests. I didn't know that. That's actually really good to know, if I'm honest. Right, so this is Jabu Jabu. King Jabu Jabu is a regal creature. Welcome to inside Jabu Jabu's belly. This is a masterclass on really poorly named enemies. The 2 here are Octoroks. Pretty cool. Those enemies bouncing around, you'd think they'd be called Bubbles, right? No. The Bubbles' official name is Shabom. S-H-A-B-O-M. Which is a really silly name. These jellyfish are called Barry. B-A-R-I. We'll quickly take down these things. There's our Kokiri sword. We can beat Deku Tree after this. Cool. So, meet the second best fish princess in the franchise. This is Princess Ruto. And it's the second best because anyone that says Mifa is worse than Ruto, I will fight you. Mifa is the most precious girl. Right, pausing here because now I'm changing my setup to be this for the remainder of the dungeon. This is all you need to beat the dungeon. Oh yeah, these are stingrays. Also known as mortal enemy of Steve Irwin. Actually, that's a terrible joke to make. I apologise if for some reason anyone from Steve Irwin's family is watching. I am deeply sorry. I should not have made that joke. Moving on, very quickly. That was another. I picked up for the second bottle, which is useless now we beat an ice cavern, but 9 out of 10 switches respond well to being hit by fish princesses. The other one is boring and didn't want to be pressed anyway. Now, will we be blessed? Ruto wiggled, the run is blessed. Okay, so most people come into here for the first time will go right because they need the boomerang, which is actually in the room to the right. We're going to go left because we have the boomerang and we can finish the dungeon quicker this way. So shield drops anything you're holding immediately. Meet the parasitic tentacle. You can only hit this thing in the boomerang, and only if you actually get the shot right. Having no map means a very bad position in this. That's fine, because going here will also give us our third map and third compass. Which means once we beat Deku Tree, we'll have our fourth. And we have all the requirements to beat Deku Tree fully. There's our map. That's our halfway point for the maps. There are, I believe, 10 maps in the game. And we need 6 of them. It's like how there are 12 songs and we need 10 of them. We need all the boots. Also, shout out to the fact we're 2 hours 15 and haven't even gotten close to being able to go to a temple yet. Because we can't get into forest or fire without a hook shot. Fire can also use hover boots. Water requires a hook shot and irons to get in. Spirit requires a laundry list. There's the compass, by the way. I believe that's actually I believe those items were actually vanilla, by the way. I believe that's actually where those items are meant to be, which is amazing. Which means this next one's actually going to be a proper item check. We also haven't been to a single dungeon that requires a key. Once you have a hook shot, I will go to GTG and find the 8 keys. Right, this room is 4 stingrays. Without a boomerang, it's the only thing you can access in this dungeon. It costs 4 sticks to do quickly. There we go, we just stand next to where the chest spawns. What we got? What's in the magical chest? Health! There's only 2 checks we don't know now. There's the sculpture in the room before the boss room. And there is, in fact, the boss room. This room is done. There's no chest in this one. We've silenced again, which is fine. It's actually nice to have a bit of quiet every now and again. I might try and do an Ocarina time run one day without music at all. put my own music on Spotify or something on the back and see how that goes. Not on RASA. Right now we're focusing on raising money for special effects. Quick with the boomerang. You can't retarget until the boomerang is back in your hand. And G-targeting will not work until you're holding the boomerang again. Right, so going straight through. This seems honestly been horrible for bingo. Oh, I know what I haven't done yet. I will do that as soon as I'm done with this child dungeons. Because there's something I've forgotten I actually opened. I can go and get stuff in there. And it's probably got my progression in it, because, yeah. Take a Curious Sword, that gives me access to the Deku Tree now. I'm actually going to arm that now, because it makes my life a little bit easier. We're going to leave the huge rupee, because we don't really need 200 rupees, because we already hold 99. Okay, momentary break while I do this. Plus is there are no big cutscenes where I can just put the controller down and take a quick loo break. So what I'm probably going to do is take a break while I'm waiting for the Baronade Blue Warp. Or very quickly now, be right back. I am back. Very quick toilet break there. And let's get back to it. The trick for beating Big Up quickly is to get hit, turn it around, and pardon me, one jump slash with the sword finishes him off. And there we go. Nothing else here we need. There's also Forest Temple music, by the way. Right, this room is called effectively the Slimy Thing room. It is a unfortunately mandatory room, but just teaches you how to use the boomerang a bit more. Because it stuns anything it hits most of the time. It will kill Keys, but Keys have very little health. Almost anything will kill him in one hit. Nuts will stun them. That's about it. Right, so now we pick up something here that has more personality and likeableness than Ruto. A wooden box. We use it to hold down the switch so we can go through and enter the final area. Check this guy. Check what's climbing up. Oh, I absolutely want that. That's the Megaton Hammer. We now have the ability to beat Fire Temple. And that logically puts a lot of checks that needed bombs into logic. We still can't logically beat the Dongos. We can now logically break a lot of stuff. Right. The jellyfish are called Barry, B-A-R-I. Meet Baronade, a delicious drink made of jellyfish. Something I learned recently. If you hit phase 1, I actually got that first try, oh my god. Stunt, if you hit the first phase of Barricade with a boomerang, it will actually kill a random jellyfish. Also, shout outs to the quick kill. Shout outs to the amazingly quick kill. Barricade is down. We just quick killed Barricade. And the worst part is almost no one will appreciate that because that's actually not that. Didn't pick it up? 25. This is the blue warp. I'm gonna put this up now. The blue warps will look a bit weird. There will be some graphical issues. That is because RetroArch doesn't really process this very well. Right, so we have the Spirit and the Shadow Medallions. So, before we do anything else, we're going to land, we're going to walk to Prelude. We're going to walk to Crystal Temple time. No, we're not. That's adult. We're just lose. What we're going to do first, we're going to save. We're going to save and reset. If you recall, the save warp last time put us back at Link's house. This time we're going to go back to Link's house and we're going to do Deku Tree. We're going to finally get... We're going to get 2 squares in this location. This is going to be really nice. We're finally going to start picking up squares. About an hour and a half to go. Talk to annoying kid the Mido. And we're finally going to go past here. In most randomizer runs, this is an area accessed in the first 2 minutes. By closing the Deku Tree, I've put it in the first 2.5 hours. But 2 more hints. This tells us that outside Ganon's castle is a foolish hint. Outside Ganon's castle is 1 check locked behind the 3rd strength upgrade. It's normally where double defense hides. It is almost always, without exception, nothing there. That hint is also one of only 2 hints that points to 1 location in the Foolish section, the other being Haunted Wasteland. Our other hint, that's our 3rd Death Mountain crater. That's our 2nd Death Mountain crater. Can't be our 3rd, we have our 5 locations. We're only missing a random hint, which I don't think we'll need at this point. But for now, Deku Tree. Time for a full clear of Deku Tree. And we still haven't got bombs, so I actually get to show off a fun, cool trick in the lower floor of this area. But first, let's clear the dungeon. This shouldn't take more than a couple minutes. I believe it's only about 6 minutes it takes me to clear this, and I've got a slingshot this time. A refill on arrows. Then we go into this door. Larvae pops up there to tell us how to open a door, because this is meant to be the tutorial dungeon. Protect the shield. We get told that holding the stick forward when you fall off a jump makes you roll if it's not too high to absorb your fall damage. Like so. Trust me, if you're just starting out in the game, remember to do that. It really helps. Anyway, these 2 chests. Blue rupee. Haven't seen one of those in a while, actually. Skull token, 26 now. We don't need any more. 30's dead, 40's a token, 50 is something we already got. Blood magic would be nice, but I'm not farming 50 skulls for it. I believe that's what's called overkill. Equip the slingshot for now. We don't need the boomerang till later. That was bad. I know. So I'm noticing something quite interesting, and I'm not sure if it's the thing I'm streaming to, or if it's my computer finally behaving, but I have dropped a total of 98 frames this stream. That is the smoothest stream I've had in quite some time. I'm streaming at 2,000 kilobytes a second. I might have to use OBS from now on to see if it's OBS. I swear, if it's Streamlabs OBS, I'm going to be rather upset. It means I'll lose my alerts again. Right, this room has 3 checks. It has a check at the back, which is normally a compass. It has a small check at the side, which I believe is normally a recovery heart. And it has a spider at the back, which is... It's a heart. I'll take it. 7 hearts. Oh, that's vanilla. That's still present. Still no map, still no compass. Map is normally in the chest in the main room. Compass is normally back here. Finding the compass automatically gets us our 4th compass, so we can automatically leave. There it is. Well, I say automatically. We automatically get our 4th square. So these squares are apparently like buses. We wait ages for 1, and then we get 2 in. Then we get 3 in like. We get 2 in like 10 minutes, rather. Stun the spider, jump through the spider. I didn't get a jump trick. Right, so there's 3 checks in this room again. Shoot this guy twice to reveal his item, which is a token, don't care. Shoot the guy on the wall to reveal his item, which is... Is that another Moo Moo milk bottle? Have I got 3 milk bottles? I'm not going to pick that one up, I don't need it. And there's our map, that's 4 maps. Right, so... We're going to combine the flame storage from before with another trick. Okay, cool, that's good. This is called the B1 skip, and if it works well, it's actually going to save a bit of time. So, roll to get the angle right, and we do 2 backflips, a right side hop and a left side hop in that order. We then line this up to roughly here. It's a precise trick. Once you get it lined up right, you can use the B button and the bottom C button to gauge it correctly. You hold Z, press A once. You then pause to buffer, and then unpause and immediately hold forward and roll. If you get it right, that will happen. And I open that for when I come back through. That is B1 skip, and it skips the entirety of the back of the basement floor of Deku Tree. But we have to go through here because there's actually a skull back here. And if there's a required, that way it's also a one-way passage. So if there's actually a required item on the skull, we're going to need to do this anyway. So, doing this to open this. Use up the stick. And this is where we need a boomerang and a bomb. I'll do a rearm before I move on. Going into here is a Skulltula. I forgot to hold this down. This is actually only used for the gold Skulltula, and we have hover boots. I am so happy I came back here. Hover boots are a required item for the Shadow Temple. They also go towards our free boots thing, which once you find the hook shot, we can get immediately. Right, last equip for the dungeon. Deku Stick, Deku Nut, Slingshot. Those items will be used in the final boss fight against Queen Goma, who made a cameo in Cadence of Hyrule as Goma Rakas. Actually a cool instrument. Goma Rakas! That was awful, I'm sorry. Damn it. These have to be hit in a specific order. 2, 3, and 1. 23 is number 1. There is a reference behind this, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. And now we enter Queen Goma. Normally, I would do Broken Stick here on the wall, but I'm just going to do a Jump Slash. Because we have a Kokiri Sword and we have a Slingshot, so this boss becomes a joke. I'm not even joking. This boss is an actual joke. If you remember, we jump slash with the deck stick before coming in, which stores the jump slash deku stick damage value on a crouch stab, which has no value of its own. The slingshot stuns Goma for an incredibly long time, long enough for me to get 3 crouch stabs in with the stored jump slash value, which kills Goma instantly. Without that, you're going to use deku nuts. That's a bomb bag. We have logical bombs. This seed is a bloody mess. You have to logically beat Jabu, which admittedly is open, by finding the boomerang and a bottle to get the bomb bag, and to get the bomb bag on Queen Goma to logically beat Dodongo's cavern. Which we haven't seen what that gives us yet. So our next stop after this, honestly, having a bomb bag is back to Temple of Time. I'm going to do one more stop off in the two more stops off in the market, and Hyrule Castle to do 2 more checks before I go back to Adult, and probably hoover up everything. I'm going to regret not doing Bottom of the Well, but there's no card slot that requires it, so there's no point going into it. Also, I forgot, I also have this square. Guess you got to mark that earlier. So I'll do this one first. Because you can do Bomb Tree Bowling whether it's day or night. So from here, I'm going to go on my bombs. And there's a rock back here you can blow up, which leads to a great fairy fountain. And thankfully, since this is in Breath of the Wild, I'm going to pay extortionate amounts to go use them. Just play Zelda's Lullaby and hope to God that it gives you something good. Right, so looking through the list right now, for logical completion of the seed, we need a long shot, which gives us access to Water Temple boss, Iron Boots or Gold Scale to get into Water Temple, Iron Boots preferred, a second Strength and Mirror Shield to finish Spirit Temple, and just going into Fire Temple and find the boss key to finish Fire Temple. And Light Arrows. That's all we need to logically beat the seed. However, since we're doing bingo, we need a lot more than that. We need to find as much as we can in the remaining hour we have left. Well, we actually have an hour and 20, but I was hoping to use the last bit to look through the spoiler log and talk through how the seed would work. Right, over to Poultry Bowling. This is the most dangerous mini-game, feasibly. Basically, you're bowling bomb shoes. In this case, I don't want the rewards, so I'm just going to run them down mid. I believe this is the only mini-game where you can actually take damage. Oh, that's Light Arrows. We actually need to do this one. Light Arrows are magical arrows take 4 magic to cast. To you? Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so what I was trying to do was a setup to hit any side slot in Bomb Tree Bowling. Unfortunately, the back we had top middle, so I actually have to do this normally because, as far as I'm aware, there is no actual setup for this one. Now, the setup for this is quite simple. You hold Z, you pull out a bomb tree, you walk backwards, and then you let go of Z. Without letting go of the bomb tree. Once your bomb tree blows up, you hold it again, and you get a lovely side angle in which to launch bomb tree straight down the middle. We are a winner. And winner gets us a Light Arrows, which, if these are real, are required. And as a holdover from the original code, which had a heart piece there, if you clear that, you get yourself a full heal. Right, now we go adult. Now we've done all we can in this section of child. The only thing left as child I can think of that's major is Bottom of the Well and Child Spirit. One of which I can't bother to do, and one of which I can't do. If I need to do it at some point, I will come back. If we're out of time on what I do bingo, I'll actually do it after my self-imposed timer runs out, which is 4:30. I'll show a few things anyway after that. Right, so our first stop here is something that I actually remembered. I think as I was heading towards Deku, or as I was just beating Jabu. Can't remember exactly when, but it's a setting I forgot I turned on. First off, getting those 2 medallions does nothing, because the light arrow cutscene check is on 6 medallions. The light arrow cutscene, this is actually what I mentioned right at the very start. The light arrow cutscene isn't the cutscene, just gives you an item. Is the Ganon's Castle boss key. And the reason it's the Ganon's Castle boss key is because if I go back here, first of all, time sets to night. Secondly, the bridge is already there. We can go into Ganon's Castle and clear stuff in Ganon's Castle. And I've only just remembered this. Fortunately, we can do quite a lot of the checks now. We could have got a blue fire from here at the very start of the run. But for now, we're going to do the checks we can, which aren't that many, honestly. We have this one in here, which requires killing a Wolfos, which honestly is very simple. Stab it in the back. Spawn the chest. I can't remember what's in this chest in vanilla. It's actually been a long time since I've done vanilla OOT. It's a key. There are 2 keys in Ganon's Castle, and that actually also counts as an adult dungeon key. So coming over here was actually the right play. Well, now for the 2 free items in water trial. If one of these is a hook shot, I deserve the right to be clipped and mocked. Token, that would have been helpful, but ultimately unnecessary. Okay, cool. We can't actually do anything else here. Because Shadow Trial requires... Actually, can I make it a hovers? Let's go check. I'm not even close enough to do this with hovers. No, I'm not. Okay, cool. That's good to know. That's going to require a hook shot or Song of Time. Fire has no checks. Light rather has 8 checks even. But we need strength 3 to even think about doing them. Spirit has checks locked behind a hook shot. And I think I just warp out here. Where do I warp to though? That's a good question. Where am I going next? I actually gonna walk to forest. I believe I can walk from here. Yeah. Come back here later. We're gonna go through second forest meadow backwards. Because there's a few things we can do here now. First off, I'm gonna go through and do a left side maze in Forest Temple. Because the left side maze in not Forest Temple, the left side maze in Goron City. Because that's unlocked with the hammer, which we now have. Then we're going to do 2 Fire Temple. Because if we can get the boss key in Fire Temple, not only do we get a square, we get to clear out a 4th medallion. Which is also a path to Bolero. Plus we can get the song check over there, which I'm expecting to be either Nocturne or Requiem. And if it's Requiem, we know where Nocturne is immediately. We're going to get it immediately. Right, so there's one stop we're going to do here. We still haven't got a wallet, so we still can't get the Goron tunic. So theoretically, we can't actually do much in Fire Temple. We can do the first floor and that's it. But since we have bombs, we can do all of the first floor. Plus, Fire Temple's got some of my favorite. Plus, I'm about to show off some of my favorite little tricks here. First of all, we're going to go through here. I'm going to swing the hammer once because remember when I said crouch stabs do the same thing as last attack? It counts the hammer swing as well. so doing this actually keeps the power of the hammer to explode blocks, which is really cool, actually. 5 rupees. That was not worth it. Only works on rocks, though. Brown bumble walls don't actually get damaged by the stab. That's fine, because I have a hammer, so I'm going to go and blow these up. I'm doing this just for a hint stone. At this point, I might as well. Oh, it's a spinning pot hint. Spinning Goron pottery contains 10 arrows. That means we have to go back for the Goron pot, which means we're done with Goron City the moment we step through the door at the back. So, pot is 10 arrows. Okay, good. I was pounding for a second, I didn't unmute, so yes earlier. Looks like I did. Right, so normally we need hooks to go over here. Hover boots work just as well. Okay, the song's Nocturne, which means Requiem is in a vanilla location. So we actually need to go over and get that at some point as well. Which is annoying, because it means you have to cross the desert. Which logically requires me to have Lens of Truth. So logically, we can't do anything else in Spirit or Shadow until we get Lens of Truth. It's an awkward moment when they changed the lens logic from everything to Wasteland and chess games to avoid having to have lens be Way of the Hero for Shadow Temple. But it's a situation where lens is Way of the Hero for Shadow Temple. Also, yes, meat pancakes. You can flip torch slugs, which are called, I think it's torch slugs or fire slugs. They are torch slugs. You can flip them with the hammer, which makes them very useful. Also, they always drop magic. Rupee, don't care. Right. So, normally, here, in most fights in the game... Hang on. Now, this boss has the same damage table as Ganon, so it takes a lot more damage from the Master Sword. So what I've done is I've stored a Master Sword jump slash, and I'm counter stabbing with the hammer, which is dealing the Master Sword jump slash damage to the boss while also knocking it out of its Flare Dancer stage with the hammer. Damn it. Too far to my left. This beats the boss, gives me a chest. Simple, really. We're looking for the boss key. To find the boss key, we can probably leave for now, because we won't be able to get much further. Token, don't care. What's concerning me is there's actually a check coming up, a sculpture which requires Song of Time. Which means we could get to a point where we actually can't progress until we've beaten the 2 stone dungeons. Which, if I'm reading this correctly, were Forest and Shadow. Which means we need Lens, we need to beat Shadow, which requires Lens of Truth, to even think about continuing in fire. That block up there, by the way, that's what's blocking the sculpture room. We might also need a hook shot to progress soon. Because hook shot locks 2 keys, but 3 checks behind it. Now, in order to not be locked out of Fire Temple, the next check has to be a key of some form. If it's not, we can't do anything else here. We also have 38 seconds to cross the room, which isn't that much. Hover boots do save us a little bit of heartache here. Because every time we... I think it's for every second we're allowed, we take half a heart damage. Hover boots also have no traction. Oh, there's actually a check we've missed. Just realised. Boss key. That's our square. We have 6 squares now. Well, 5 squares. We can't count the Ruto's one. So we're up to 5 squares. Which is not bad. So if we can find the map, we'll also be 1 map away, which means bottom of the well becomes actually quite an attractive proposition. Also, we got a small key in fire, so we are now getting close to the point where I can start to say I'm confident about getting that square in time. Can't see me getting the Boo Knuckle though, because that requires me to beat the Spirit Temple to the point where I can beat the boss anyway. Which will probably be my last dungeon I clear if I'm doing the seed normally. Okay, we can progress. I'm not sure I want to though. We have the boss key, so there's no need to actually progress. So I'm going to go back a room to think. I'm not sure what I'm doing next, to be honest. I think at this point I go towards my 10th song. So I had to up to Serenade. Because Serenade is the closest thing I've got to getting myself access to the desert. So I can cross over here, call my horse. Oh, while I'm here, actually, I'm going to do another glance at a check. There's no way I can get this check without a long shot. But knowing what it is also quite nice. We know it can't be a hook shot because we need both of them to get it. That's nuts. Okay, cool. We know Water Temple has something that's necessary in there. So, to beat the game, it could either be a Mirror Shield, a Strength, a Hook Shot. No, it has to be a Mirror Shield, Strength, or a Hook Shot. There's nothing else that can be required to beat the game at that point. Since we're bingoing, we can't really pay attention to where the hero for squares. Like, we have to go into Forest Temple at some point. We have to go to GTG at some point, even though we know it's foolish. We have to effectively beat Shadow Temple. We have to go to every adult dungeon anyway, which means we're still missing Forest, Water, Spirit, Shadow, and GTG. We don't count Ice Cavern for each adult dungeon because it doesn't have any small keys. It's a side dungeon that doesn't have keys. The others do. Oh, opponent! This horse, I swear. I could have gone to beaten Volvage, which would have given me a temple, but without several fairies, I could have farmed fairies, but I didn't have enough time to effectively farm fairies. I haven't got a fire source, I can't check the wasteland item. And I haven't got a hook shot, so I can't get the skull either. And there can't be anything worthwhile in GTG, so don't even going in. This is my Druid of Valley music, are you kidding me? Opponent, the bridge is there, come on. Also gotta do one more check in Valley. Over here is a chest behind these hammer rocks. It normally contains a piece of heart. As before, stab the rocks, and we have in here money. A little depressing, but I can deal. Where? Oh, wait. Oh, I have hovers now, actually. I can do another check in Fortress. So, we can't take opponent through to the Haunted Wasteland. For one, opponent can't wear hover boots, so she wouldn't be able to cross the first section. Epona. Oh god, this horse is loyal to me, but it's a pain in my neck sometimes. Okay, we're going to here. Epona can't go on tiled squares. There's a lot of items now that will give me instant squares. Like, a bomb bag will give me squares. A hookshot will give me access to Forest Temple, which is squares, and the Iron Boots, which is a square. Ledge of Truth gives me a square. Actually, Ledge of Truth gives me 2, because I can go straight to the Shadow Temple then. Double Defense gives me a square, obviously. Any map gives me a square, so I think I'm on 5? I'm on 4, I didn't get one in fire. Okay, this was a little finicky. I can understand this one being a bit annoying. It's the same principle as we had in... What's the word I'm looking for? Kakariko. Literally the same thing. Oh crap, I gotta do Lenses Wasteland. I'll give it a few tries. If I don't get it, I'll warp out and do something else. Logically, what I'm about to do after this chest isn't actually logical because I haven't got access to a Ledge of Truth. But if I'm going to get a 10th song, I'm going to have to do it. Which sucks. If it's the hookshot up here, though, I was saying in my previous statement, I'm going back to Ice Cavern for those boots. And the skulls. Hookshot would give me so many squares. Okay, so the principle behind this jump is quite simple. You are jumping just high enough to grab the ledge. The problem with it is it's actually really finicky. That was too early. That was completely on me. To be fair, this is one of the few checks I have left to do, so I might as well do this check. I realise I missed one in Second Forest Meadow, but that's behind a warp, so once I've done this and had a few tries at Lenses Wasteland... That was weird. There we go. You just have enough height to clip onto the grab. That's what makes that difficult. That's a chest. Oh, almost fell off there. And our survey says... Token. That's a heart container. Alright, here we go. I'm going to try something one time. Oh, it's not entrance randomizer. If there's an entrance randomizer active, there's a guard behind the fence there that will also open the gate. Because you can potentially be trapped there otherwise. Okay, so. This is going to be fun. If we get this, we have 10 songs. We instantly have our 10th song, which is going to be Requiem. We know every song is now. There's 3 songs left and we have, after Requiem. There's 3 songs left and we have hints for 2 that aren't Requiem. Nocturne Check is Bolero and OOT is Summertime. So we're going to backwalk across the sand. This is honestly the only reason we need the hollow boots here. Then we're going to follow the flags without the hollow boots, which takes us over to the Phantom Guide. Now, if I don't get this in one try, I'm going to walk to what's up there? I'm going to walk to Child and go to the well. Because at this point, there's got to be something there. There's 22 checks there. It's been open since I found the bomb bag. And it's probably where I'm going to have to start closing up the stream at some point. If I don't do it straight away. Can't get to get the skull, so I have to come back here later anyway for a square. Right. This is going to be difficult. I have done this once in my life and it was a fluke, so... here, and turn this way. I follow this along here. Cross the sea here. No. No, I'm not going for it. Because I actually want to go do this check first. There's a check in Sick Fosbed I haven't done. I'll do that, and I'm going to warp immediately to Child and go do bottom of the well and kick myself when there's a hook shot and a strength upgrade in there. Heck, I'll kick myself if there's a hook shot in there. Plus, I actually have access to Nocturne now, so it also gives me another hint stone. Not that I need it, because I have all 20 hints. Hammer acts as a bomb, so you can hammer down to here. And this looks like Majora's Mask. This is a Wolfos grotto. There are 2 Wolfos in here. If this wants to actually start attacking me, that'd be fantastic. 1 down. Second one. Chessboard's about here. This is normally 200 rupees. It's a secret. You're not meant to, you don't find it in your first playthrough. In this case, it's 50. It's 25% of what it normally is. That's kind of worrying, really. Where's the hook shot? Hook shot gets me 3 squares. Quick drink, my apologies. I'm an idiot who forgot to mark this square. We have 6 squares at the 3-hour mark. Will be active for 40 more minutes. After that, I'm just going to shut the spoiler on because I'll have 20 minutes left, so I can talk through a few things. Right, so I'm going to talk through what each item will give me at this point. Hookshot will give me 2 checks in Spirit Trial. It'll give me all of Forest Temple, because I have the requirements for Forest Temple. All of Water Temple, except the boss and the boss key chest. It will give me... I believe it'll also give me all the skulls in Ice Cavern, which will also give me 3 boots, because we know one of the boots are on the first skull. And if I can find the second one, it'll give me Morpher. Which will also, indirectly, put me halfway to beating 2 temples. It will also, Hookshot will also give me a ton of Skulltula locations. Which will also give me Wasteland Colossus once I have access to Colossus. And now we're going to close that time loop I mentioned earlier, a couple hours ago. By making it rain in the windmill, which makes the windmill go faster, which drains the well. Lens of Truth gives me full access to Colossus, which gives me Requiem, which is my 10th song. It will also give me Din's Fire, which gives me full access to Shadow Temple, which is the 5 small keys. Mirror Shield doesn't give me much unless I find a second strength. But it will give me full clear of Spirit Temple once I do find it in Strength 2. Din's Fire, we've already been through, gives me Shadow Temple, and a few more checks. Strength 2 gives me a square immediately. As well as access to Spirit Temple. And I believe also easier access. Yeah, Spirit Temple clear will actually give me Blare of Fire, which gives me the bead plant. Should have beat Fire Temple earlier, actually. If I hold off beating Fire Temple until I have access to beat a second temple, I can just knock that out straight away. There's the compass. Not as if we need them, but it does show where all the chests are. So those of you watching along at home can work out where I'm going next. Bingo Board's just happy to be here. It's happy to raise money for Special Effect, which is a fantastic charity. There's a full heal. I will gladly always take a full heal. I'm a little behind my normal rate here, because normally that thing's stopping me at the song check. Pause here. I'm done with bombs. That's for something bomb for now. So something bombs out for decking nuts. Grab the chest. I actually need all 3 keys for this dungeon because the skulls could have important items. Gonna do it a little differently here. I'm going for Dead Hand first. Dead Hand has actually got a higher check density. There's our second bomb bag. That's a square. Looking for squares. I haven't got any more. I need a hook shot to get several squares. Stun you, so you're not a threat. Next situation, I want to do this again. Actually, I've got more than F6. I'm just going to break a couple. There's our first key. Steve had our first key. Damn it, too far. Oh, that's why it... Okay. One, two, three. Ah! Slightly too late. That hand has got a quick kill. It's quite difficult. Sugar, honey, iced tea. Let me go. Thank you for letting me go. One, two. Ah! Oh, I broke the stick. Don't know how that happened. Get off, 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 get off. Thank you. There we go. That hand's dead. And let's see what we got. Should have actually picked up a key in GTG while I was Red Rupee. I need 2 more keys. There's only, I think, 3 places where they can be now. Because it can't be behind the locked pits or like checks because they both require a key. They both require all 3 keys to get to, logically. Which is either basement on the left or on the basement or on the left hand side here. Key. Cool. Right, let's go have a look what this is then, shall we? In this coffin, it's the key. We can look through the coffin using that little trick I just did. That's why the zombies are scary. Because they force you to look at them directly, which, if you're not careful, will screw up your angle. I'd rather not, because that scream also haunts people's nightmares. Pull the skull, pull the key top. That was a cool series of hops. That's all the keys. So we can now go and focus the Sculptor. We have all the keys of the dungeons. And we have the compass. We're looking for the map for our 5th map. and anything else we can find, honestly, because the second bomb bag isn't enough to come down here. Arguably, the only reason we're down here is for one square. If we find lens in a semi-vanilla location, I'll be happy. Right, let's go do these first. Just shoot it to glance it. Deku shield, might need that later. For now, we should be good. Because we're about to go to an area which is very dangerous for our Deku shield. And if we lose it, it's not really that good. Go into here. This looks scary until you realise it's an invisible floor. That one's going in the way. There's our map. What if it does? I'll be happy to see a map because that's our 5th map. One more map and we're done with our map goal, which gives us another square. Where's our hook shot? Where's our hook shot? If it's over here, I'll be happy because it means I'll go straight back to adult to do Ice Cavern. And then Forest Temple. Well, Forest Temple, then Ice Cavern. I'm not sure, honestly, if I want to do Forest Temple or Ice Cavern first so I get the hook shot. Ice Cavern's a quicker square. Right, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next to the chest. That again. Oh, I was close. If that fire keys made contact with me, I lost my Deku shield. Oh, I got to hit the skulls, haven't I? Crap. Strength 2. I see this as an absolute win. Token. Oh god. Likes eat shields. And if you're not in randomizer, they also eat tunics. That's why well, by the way. Right, next thing I want to do is I want to use bomb tube for this next section because it's honestly quicker. Because they trigger on top connecting with a rock or bomb flower. But yeah, strength 2 is a square and it gives us beautiful access to a very nice area. Or it would if I would comfortably go there. I'm not sure now. Nothing left to do in there except fire check, which I haven't got fire source for. What have I got left? I've done river, I've done domain, I've done Lake Highly. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go plant a bean. I'm about to buy more beans later, but I'm gonna go plant a bean at Lake Hylia because it will save me having to do hookshot strats, which I haven't got a hookshot for. So I get a few more checks before I get hookshot locked. So up to 8 squares. If I can get to 10, I'll consider that a win. As a reminder, we're not counting Rufus' letter, because I have to auto-mark it because it doesn't exist in the world. Could have left it unmarked, but that would honestly just bug me. So for the first time in I don't know how long, we're actually using a bean. Then we're going to go back to adult, warp straight here, which gives me access to 2 more checks. And nullifies one of the main reasons for Scarecrow's song. But we need a hook shot, honestly. If I get a hook shot, I'll beat Forest and go straight to fight for Vargia. Because that will actually give me 2 temples. So you feel like I also wouldn't mind beating Fire and Spirit, because if I can manage... Also, the gauntlet colour's different, which is nice. Right, walking back to Lake Hylia, use the plants grown. That Gotham Stone there, by the way, is not a hint stone. Once you beat Morpher, you can raise and lower the water level using that stone, which is useful if you got into Water Temple with Gold Scale originally. Oh yeah, hookshot right now would be good to get into water temple to try and find what is probably now the mirror shield or the long shot. So this is my way to hero can be useful, because it'll tell you what could potentially be somewhere. Long shot being in water temple is some really annoying shit though. Where's the bird? Where's the bird? There's the bird. It got stuck. I have never seen that bird get stuck there before. I am so happy it did though, because it means this is now a very easy climb. Let me on my ladder, please. Ladder final boss. What should be a hook shot up here, by the way? If there is, I'm going straight down to water temple. It's huge rupee. I'm going to deny myself that immediately by falling down. Right, let's go do adult fishing, because I don't remember getting a hint for adult fishing or lake. Do you remember getting one for crater though? I'm not sure if the song was all down. I don't remember what the crater song was. It was a while back. Oh, it was Nocturne, wasn't it? Which is not required. Oh dear. It's Nocturne, so it might actually be. Oh, the song might be required for all dungeons forced because it's on a time. Which means River Chest might have my boss key. There's one chest in Water Temple that's locked by the Song of Time, and it's the chest after Dark Link, the one in the river. Since we have Dungeon Skulls on, there's actually 2 checks there. There's also a Skull Club back there as well. So there's actually quite a reasonable chance that I might need Song of Time, even though Dungeons to get isn't required. A wallet. That's our logical Volvagia defeat. We can now logically beat Volvagia because we now have the ability to buy a Goron tunic. Where do I go now? I've done all the checks in there. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go back to Forest to head down through to DMC to do the fairy fountain I missed. So that gives me a hook shot. Also, the first hook shot being this late is really scary. Super sketch. Which is what a Spear Gun has when you Mega Evolve it. Super sketch. Don't climb, don't climb, don't climb, don't... Climb. Link, you dumbass. Okay, you're facing the wrong way there, so I'm just going to shoot you. Also, these gauntlets were sponsored by Sonic the Hedgehog. Gotta go fast. So, do I farm money for a tunic? Or do I just go straight in and hope? I think I farm money for a tunic. Because the tunic makes Volvagia so much easier. So much less stressful as well. Seriously, where's the freaking hook shot? I swear to God, if Volvagia has the hook shot, that will be the biggest tease ever. Right, speaking of guaranteed things, this pot here, guaranteed 20 rupees. And unlike most other 20 rupee things, that room respawns. That, right. Swing the hammer early. So I can stab with the sword to break this rock, which just makes life easier. And these two to open that up. Please be a hook shot. I'll just break logic, this seems so much more annoying. To be fair, a hook shot here would make sense, because I got the hammer as the last skull to Jabu. So a hook shot here would make some sort of logical sense. It's not though, it's double defense, which is another square. What if we get a line? A line would be difficult. This is actually designed to be a blackout board. Double defense does give me enough health for Volvagia, but I'd rather get a tunic. Plus, tunic means I can explore all of Fire Temple, which I can dig a bit further. I think maybe 3 more trips? 154, 159, 179. Yeah, 3 more trips. I get it on the 3rd. 4, go out here, get the blue for 159. Come back in for 179. Yeah, got it. Slow and methodical, slow and boring, but such is the life of OT. Sometimes you have to be a bit boring. For example, I'll go this side, because this side's got a green rupee. I said this side's got a green rupee. I think it's exactly enough. There we go, 200. Which means we go over here, and the fine Goron in the shop, who by the way never got kidnapped when Gandalf stole everyone's food to Malvasia, this fine fellow has for me a spicy jumper. I'm going to pause here for a second and arm it, see what we've got. It's blue, that's a lovely colour, it goes really well with the gauntlets. So let's go and beat a dragon. A real fire-breathing dragon. And this dragon will most likely not give me anything useful. But beating the dungeon at least will give me a medallion, which will be 4 of 6. Which I'll take as a minor win. And we have 20 minutes to go. Right, so the tunic makes this fight a bit more free. So, I'm going to try something different in this fight. There's a fight I actually wanted to try at some point. So, this section is completely free of the hollow boots. Which makes sense, you don't usually get the hollow boots until much later. Right, welcome to the Malvasia fight. 9 holes in the ground. Malvasia comes out of one of them. Goes out of it, goes back into another one in a second. See? Fire-breathing dragon. Most people call this a worm, but it's definitely a dragon. Now, 1 in 9 chance I can't do a quick kill. So here damage? Yeah. So bombing that hole. You hear a damage hit, that means the bomb I used is actually dealing damage. Oh god, no. Damn it. I think I messed up. No, I messed up. You're still stunned, which means I can go and try another bomb. I think I got enough. Nope. Because the way what I was trying to do works is, Malvasia has a second hitbox. And when she sticks her head out, you can damage it. Oh, really? And of course, her being coming out of that hole means I can't hit it anymore. So now we're going to wait for this to go through. I had to practice with a Malvasia fight. It's a hard fight. The safe way is practically free with the Goron sword, which does double damage compared to the sword I'm using now with the Master Sword, against all enemies but Ganon and Flare Dancers. I have to go for 1 more cycle of her coming out. I think I'm 1 hit from death. Actually, I'll get a little more damage on her. Yeah, she should be 1 hit from death now. Where am I going? If she pops out of 4 holes, she's a hit from death. 1, 2, yeah. Got it. That fight took a lot longer than it had to. On the plus side, Volvage is dead. I think at this point, Water Temple has to have a hookshot in it. And the other one is somewhere that I haven't been yet. We know where a hookshot can't be. It can't be in TTG. Pardon me, it can't be in the Chagasagan's castle. Red Rupee, don't want it. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to clear more Fire Temple. And that's probably going to take me through the end of the segment. Good progress though, got 9 squares. If I can get one more square, that's all I really want to see, just one more. And I'll be happy. I can't get any keys in Spirit or Shadow, so I can't do that square. I can't get into Forest, so I can't do that one. If I can find the Fire Temple map, that'll be the 6th square I want. Ice Hours will also do it. We'll play a little game, actually. Which square on the board do you all think is the hardest square left on it? Given that Din's Fire is behind the treasure chest game, which is a 1 in 32 without the lens, and it locks the Shadow Temple square. Lens also locks the Wasteland Colossus square. I'm curious what you lot all think is the hardest square left. Well, I say you lot, I'm not sure how you're actually watching right now. But I'll tell you one thing, I proved Chelsea wrong. She said there'll be zero watches at this point. I've got a watcher. Take that, Chelsea. Honestly, Ice Arrows being anywhere could even be in a barren location, so I might as well go check TCG for Ice Arrows after this. If I have time. I should have done that earlier. I forgot Ice Arrows were a junk item. Right, now to show off ground jumps. Taking the explosion from that without actually taking the bomb explosion sets you up in a weird state where any vertical movement you take will cause you to make a higher jump. It's something to do with trying to pick up the bomb, but interrupting it with your sword. So, you're in a weird state where you can't do anything. You notice when you're doing the ground jump animation, the Ocarina fades out on the D-pad. That's because you can't do any C button actions while preparing for a ground jump, if you've done it right. Then all we're going to do is side hop or backflip to trigger it. Preferred trigger for me... Ah, oh, damn it, talk to go on. The preferred trigger for me is honestly to backflip. There's our second bow. We know what the third bow is, it's an ice cavern. Which we logically can get because... Yeah. I remember what I got from King's Over. Oh, look! Ice arrows! Bongo Bongo's now in logic. And I've hit 10 squares! I just realised I actually forgot to refresh it. I meant to refresh it on the hour. Okay, cool. Let's read more donations and then new have come up. Oh good, a key. We can advance. Now, if the next chest does not... Yeah, I can't remember what I got from King's Row. It was a while ago now. I did it after Ice Cavern. So, at this point in time, a hook shot will get us a line. Ooh, that was close. a hookshot will get us a line. Because we will go straight to Ice Cavern and do the line. Key, please. Okay, we're locked out of Fire Temple. There's nothing else we can do with Fire Temple. We're gonna warp out. We have strength 2, so we could enter Spirit if we can make it over. But we haven't got Lens, so we can't make it over. DMC is done. Crater's done. Gourd City is all done. There's nothing else there for us. Kakariko is pretty much... I haven't done the Redead Grotto, have I? And that is logically available. We still haven't got a fire source, so we can't do the Composer Grave chest. Wait. There's a fake bottle somewhere. Because we have 3 bottles and there's 2 that I know of. One of them's to the right of me. There's a fake bottle somewhere. So there's one check we haven't done yet, and it's in the middle of Kakariko. After this, I'm going to have to start thinking. Again. I don't remember which was it. This just has 2 redeads, another 200 rupees in vanilla. Oh, for God's sake. Well, there's 20 rupees down the drain. Right. I did say to analyze the remaining seed at this point. But I'm going to do a little more. Because I think there's a few checks I want to do that I haven't had access to yet. Ranch is done. River's done. Market's done? Done, except for chess game. Well, I'm live till 5, so let's go to that time. Really, Epona? You were sideways then. That shouldn't be a thing you're allowed to do. Checks-wise, Hylia is done. Anything else we can do with Hylia? Ruda Valley is empty. Fortress is empty. Big pose! Not an empty bottle. Yes. There are 10 big pose scattered across Hyrule. And I forgot this randomizer only requires 1. Let's go see what's on big pose before we finish up. This might be a breakthrough. If it's Lens, I'm going straight for Din's Fire. If it's Hookshot, I'm going straight for Ice Cavern. Either way, I will end with 1 extra square. Minimum. So we're going to talk to the ghost shop guy. Give him this, it gives us 50 rupees, and the check. It's a skull token. God damn it! There's no more checks in Castle right now. Spirit Temple requires a hook shot. And Electron requires a 3rd strength. And Shadow Trial requires a hook shot or fire arrows. Fire arrows would actually be a great fight right now. I'm just going to make sure I haven't got them, because that would be a real sin. So that's be something simple I've missed. I actually feel kind of upset now. Because I always do this one simple thing that unlocks the entire seed. Still, 10 squares is nice, honestly. I'm not sure it's worth going this way. Okay, so way to here is Crater's done. Ranch is done. Colossus I can't even get to, but that tells me that there is actually something very important there. CAC I've done. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing left in CAC. I've done chickens, I've done bow game, I've cleared the back grotto and man on roof. Unless the 50 skull thing was actually the required magic, which honestly would be par for the course at this point. The thing is, I can't even get 8 keys without having a hook shot. So not finding the hook shot has locked me out of a lot of this seed. I'm trying to think what I have left I haven't done. Curious Forest is done. Lost Woods is done aside from Skull Mask, which we know is dead. It's a huge rupee. At this point I might go farm money and do 1 in 32 for Dins. It's not in logic, but heck. Someone's need to pass the time while I look at the spoiler log. Okay, it's going to be really awkward to see at night. If I fail it, I'll swap to day. Because I have Sun Song. I had a lensless document set up. Do I have a... Give me a second. Open. Do I still have this saved? Yes. Which flag was it? This one. No, wait, hang on. So I'm going to try it with the setup I eyeballed at one point. So I want to stand here. No, I was too far right. So just 1 second while I play Sun Song. There we go, I can see now. That's over my chat, I actually need that there we go. And I'm going to the sand. Oh, not. Okay, cool. This is an audio test for Mr. Jeremy Turtle. You have 23 minutes if you are listening. I will probably poke you on TeamSpeak at the 10-minute mark, just so you are awake. / aware. At that point, I'll be looking through spoiler log and working out where I went wrong. And realising it's probably something simple. Awesome, you're there. Can I do a quick spin, please? There we go. Oh, we're right here, okay. Right. So I need that flag over there. And give us one last try, and then I'll probably go 132 for the last bit. So hang on. Get out of the sand. Problem is, if we stay in the sand too long, you're in trouble. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meant to be that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, my angle's off. I can't really eyeball this properly. Can I hold Z before I try and walk backwards? There we go. And the worst part is, it's probably going to be going back here to find lens. No, I can't be it. Logic wouldn't allow it. Logic is wasteland and chest. Which means you logically need the lens to cross the wasteland. What I'm doing now is so far out of logic, it's probably back in at some point. Plus, if there's a hook shot back here, we can if we do get past here, we very quickly get a 10th song and end with an extra bingo space. almost was out on the easy part. Let's try with 4 rolls instead. Down. Thank you. Down. There we go. So this way. This looks right. Just before cresting the hill, I'm going to go roughly this way. Oh, come on, no! That was the levers! Ugh. I was so close. Once I get past the levers, I know roughly where I'm going. There's a reason I need to learn this. Because it is time consuming, and if you don't find the lens, you do actually need to come back here at some point. Situations like this is actually painful. I can reverse this, no problem, actually eyeballing it. Right. 4 rolls there and go along here. Don't cross the sea until this is gone. Cross the sea now. I want to go roughly this way. Box is over there. That is actually a waypoint I want to go towards. Go towards the box. I think I've made it. Because from the box I could re-angle. Because this is where the ghost takes you. And if I can find... No, Navi, shut up. Seriously. And I believe if I go straight towards those flags, this should be me through here. The greatest. We are officially a Desert Colossus. We get a hook shot here. I have to reverse that to get the skull. This makes me very happy. Now we can do the last fairy fountain that means anything. Because 2 of the others are in foolish locations. The worst part is, it's probably weird of the hero for Requiem to come back to do Child's Spirit. Which is awkward. Nope, it's gold gauntlets. Okay. There's something in Ganon's castle. Well, I think I have a rough idea of how to do it now. I just need to get the angles right. I think I've got it in my head. But now, we're just going to check out the song is to get our 10th song. That's Neri's Love up there. We don't need it today. And then we're going to tie it Ganon's castle to end. Because that probably leads to my hook shot. Seriously, where the hell is lens? So we go in, then we go out. And that gives us Requiem. Which is our 10th song, which means we now have 10 songs. And we're going to end by going back to Ganon's castle. Oh, purple gold gauntlets. Nice. Oh. Let's just go and finish off castle. That'll be me done for the night. And ready to hand over to Jeremy. Still 15 minutes. 15 minutes should be more than enough time to do this, and probably a few more checks, and then look for a spoiler log. So I want to know where the heck those bloody items were. Hook shot. There's probably a hook shot in Water Temple. I'm going to call that now, because it's still an area I haven't managed to look in. Colossus being weird hero for a strength is mildly concerning, because it means well might not be required at all. I'm going to check Electron here, because finding a third strength gives me 8 checks in the castle. And if any of them are required items, that means all 3 strengths were needed. So I think you'll like this. So we pick this up. And it goes... And the link goes... Yeet! You get really strong once you have 3 gauntlets. Right, so in this room, we have 4 invisible enemies. I know where they are. Because I've done this a few times. Plus you can still target them when they're invisible. Killing all 4 enemies reveals a 7th chest. There are 7 chests in this room. I believe at least one of these is an ice trap in vanilla. And there's a 3rd ice trap. There's a 2nd key. We can now actually finish the trial. But we want to. Win a heart piece. That is the heart piece from a treasure chest game normally, and it is quite a cool item to find. Another heart piece.
Joined your channel.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hello.
It's the mirror shield in the light trial, which means that is actually required to beat Spirit Dungeon. Oh boy. But go on, so okay. Game, you can stop any time. You know that, right? And about to be fun. Do this last one, but I'll climb the tower to get the last chest, and then we'll go look at the spoiler log and see how bad this actually was. For God's sake. Oh, will you please? There we go. Okay. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Yeah, I've been enjoying my day today.
Awesome, glad to hear. For those who might not know, Jeremy here is from New Zealand?
Yeah.
You think I'd know that? You think I'd know that more easily? So, okay, I regret nothing. I've just found my favourite music in the game. But yes, bit of a time shift to ours, which is why Jeremy is hosting Super Happy Fun Time after I finish here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the 3rd Super Happy Fun Times I've ever streamed, so that's gonna be fun.
Awesome. I'm just gonna finish up this last area, and then go and look at the spoiler log and cry how bad this seed actually was. Because I'm not sure how much you know about Ocarina of Time, but not.
I've seen a bit of gameplay, but never played it myself.
So that's what I'm not having a hook shot for almost 4 hours sucks. And if it's not in here, if it's in here, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay. Okay. That was Lens of Truth. I could have had Lens of Truth at the very start. Fuck. I think that's a good point to just leave that sitting there while I go and look at the spoiler log. Oh, that's actually made me rather mad. I knew there was one thing that I could have gotten from the very start that was going to screw me over. I didn't think it would be the Lens of Truth. Right, so let's have a look where it was. I need to wave the hero. So we're looking for the hook shot to unlock everything. It was in Shadow Trial. Wait, how do I get that? Alright, so for those of you watching that might know Ocarina of Time, I had almost every single required item. My Chrome has crashed. Oh, for God's sake. Refresh the page, please. The first hookshot was in the second room of Ganon's castle. I got that by finding halfway through Shadow Temple, which the Lens of Truth unlocked the item for me to get it. Well, on the plus side, this is entertaining to watch, I bet. So, all the squares marked in blue are the squares I didn't manage to get. I'm also going to mark a few squares in purple, which are the squares I would have gotten had I had a little more time.
So you're just giving up now? You got 10 minutes. Come on.
I haven't got enough time to get more.
Okay.
To get my next item, I have to go
Fair
back
enough.
to Child, which is a minute by itself.
Hmm.
I'm going to play a little longer, just because I just want to show off the chess game. But then I'll be ready to hand over whatever.
Yeah, I'm controlling the streamer at the moment, so I'm technically hearing you twice. It's fine.
You're hearing you twice, or the stream's hearing you twice?
So I have Parsec open,
Oh, okay.
which has a stream controller, and I can't, for heaven's sake, turn down the volume on Parsec.
I getcha.
Also, I think a bit of it's in German, so I don't know.
What a picture? So, for bingo board purposes, for those watching, had I managed to get through Shadow Temple to the invisible spike room chest, which is roughly 2/3 of the way through, I'd have gotten the fire arrows. The fire arrows are hard required to get to the end of Shadow Trial, which had my first hookshot. So if I was to fully clear the bingo card, I'd probably be here another 2 hours. And that would cut out super happy fun time, which obviously we don't want.
No, I don't know. I got 3 hours of trying to do something, so I got different things planned.
Yeah, I would watch, but I'd probably go to sleep after this.
Yeah, fair enough.
So this is a test game.
Hopefully I get,
Sorry, go on.
hopefully I get the Americans along.
I can try and poke a couple. No promises, I'm afraid. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is chess game. There are 2 chests in each room. One has money, one has a key. If you find the money, you're out. Find the key, you move on. Normally, it's a 50-50 on each room. But Lens of Truth lets you cheat. You can actually see into the chests. You go in. You do the next. It's honestly, this is actually the logical way you're meant to do this. The game does not expect you to do a 1 in 32. Which is a lot more generous when you think about it than most other games. As you go through, the reward for losing gets higher and higher. When we get to the last room, gold! And there's Din's fire. Ugh. And pause timer. So we end with 10 squares cleared. It's 10. Is it 10? Okay, actually, we end with 11 squares cleared. It's technically 12, if you look at the board. But Ruta's letter doesn't count because I forgot to mention it's not in the seed. So it's 11 squares in 4 hours. Not the best, but given the seed, it's probably the best I could have done. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'd like to remind you that Special Effect are the charity we're raising money for. exclamation mark donate in which I'm going to put it myself. There we go. Put that there. There's no pressure to donate, although we would like you to. Every little helps. And at this point, I think I'm going to hand it over to Jeremy after a brief break, a brief word from our sponsors, to start super happy fun times. Are you ready?
See you soon.
I will catch you later, everyone. Thanks for watching, and stick around.
I'm Jada's mom. Jada is almost 9. Has always wanted to play computer games, but never been able to. Jada's got cerebral palsy and finds fine motor skills very difficult, so the hand controls are extremely difficult. She's now got switches, a large switch for the main jumping and shooting, and then the smaller switches and joysticks, which is good for her fine motor skill because she has to use a joystick. Once Jada got the equipment, that was her off, and her words were, "I'm now a gamer," and she's been playing it and having a time of her life. Also, it's something she can play with her friends and not be excluded. She's now in the mainstream, playing games with mainstream children. She's now like her friends, or her and her dad will sit and play football. It's just having fun, and it's lovely to watch, absolutely lovely to watch. I just think Special Effect are amazing, and what they've done for Jada has been amazing. And thank you so much.
Come on, Paul.